It is with deepest pride and greatest pleasure that we welcome you tonight. And now, we invite you to relax. Let us pull up a chair as the dining room proudly presents...
Welcome to the fucking show.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, the Jedi Night's Watch. This is Wolfpack Wednesdays, episode 103 with my boys, DLO The Collector, Brick Artemis, coming to you live from YouTube. We've got a lot of cool stuff to talk to you about tonight. Hopefully you're all having a good week so far. Good to be back with my boys. A little bit of housekeeping to start things off. We're off next week. So I'm going to be on vacation. I'm going to be in Tennessee. So please note there will not be Wolfpack Wednesday next week. If either one of these guys wants to go live and kind of fill that void, feel free. But we will be back the week after that, which is June 18th and my 40th birthday. We will be live for that. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys on my birthday. So haven't been able to do that. I think I have gone live before, but not Wolfpack Wednesday live. So this is going to be extra special. Please take note of that. It's been a great week for collecting for myself, but I want to see how you guys are doing this week. Actually, Margot, my almost 8-year-old, said, "Daddy, I want you to tell the Wolfpack what you did today." And I said, "Everything?" She's like, "Yes." And then ask what they did today. So I'm going to start. And then I'm going to ask you guys. So it was the last day of school today. So the girls only had 3 hours of school. So we picked them up. We went to a restaurant and we ate a nice meal. They had fun doing that. And then we went to a little shop downtown called the Candyman, and we all got ice cream. I got Superhuman or Superman sometimes. So we had ice cream. We hung out. They got to do tablet time today, and then our deck got finished, so we were planting stuff. And then they were doing, you guys hear the brain breaks on YouTube? So you can watch YouTube, but it's like this virtual thing where you're enacting what they're doing, and you're like running and doing moves and stuff. So they call it brain breaks. You're actually active while watching TV. Okay. They got to do those too. So I told her I would tell you guys what we did, and then she wanted me to ask you what you guys did today. So whoever wants to start, let me know.
I guess I'll start. So first of all, you tell Margot that cherish these moments. That's as good as it gets. Because on a Wednesday, D-Lo is working his butt off and then rushing to eat dinner to make it for Wolfpack there. So
he ate like a rat.
Bless her little sweet heart. I'm glad she had a great end of school day. But yeah, when she gets Papa D-Lo's age, it's just get back to work. You know what I'm saying?
Shoving his face full and then going back to work.
Yeah. But on a lighter note, it is great to see my boys again. I am now officially a proud owner of a dewback. It's open. It's in display. It's beautiful. And I had a question of my own. So if Margot can take a step for just 1 second, we'll answer it. Brick will answer a question. But I got a question for you guys. Have you ever gotten a piece into your collection, and once you added it in, it felt like the entire collection instantly got better. Like it has like this aura about it where you just instantly feel like everything is going right in the collection. It's looking good. I love everything about my collection. It couldn't be happier to me. You guys ever get a figure or something in your collection that ever makes you feel like that?
Dude, my 21 inches of Venom. Just
I love how you always have to start with the 21 inches part. That's very, very.
You gotta express how large it is. You know, like it's a big piece.
Every time. Okay, well, I'm happy you're happy.
I call them sweetness.
You call your 21 inches of Venom sweetness.
Oh yeah,
sweetness.
Okay.
I think sometimes you can have a figure that kind of like off-puts the collection. You got to really figure out how to work it in.
With Brick for just a second here, you strike me as a man who enjoys a good glass of red wine and typing in your journal. Kind of type. I get the vibe of that there.
I haven't written in my journal in a while.
A little bubble bath, maybe some cucumbers.
I might write about sweetness for a little bit in my journal.
Oh, diary.
I don't know where this is.
Your
going.
Sweetness. Oh, how I missed thee.
Anyways,
I
think sometimes you can get a figure and like you really got to. It's a great figure, but you got to work to really get it to like mesh well with everything else. But then you have, like you're saying, one that just has that aura about it, and it just like,
yeah. I'm glad you thought.
Mine would be Jabba. Like
you didn't twist my arm to get the do back, but I'm glad you kind of pushed me over the edge there because you were 100% right. Once I got that in the collection, I was just like,
100% right?
Yes. This is exactly what I needed.
I think it only took like 3 pushes, and then you finally went.
It wasn't that hard. I was like, oh no, don't. Maybe I shouldn't. Oh no, I shouldn't. So yeah, but appreciate my boy looking out for me here. So worth it. The do back is amazing. Absolutely.
Anything else that before we get to Brick? Anything else that you've gotten since then as well in the collection?
You know, honestly, not really. I was talking to somebody about this earlier. I think it was Figure Poser. We were just having a brief conversation before we headed online. But like everything for this year it hasn't come in. Like the Dewback is the newest thing that came in. My Jack Sparrow's been delayed. So all the new stuff I'm excited about, like, yeah, I'm still waiting on Darth Maul. I didn't get the speeder one. I know people with the speeder got theirs, but
people are spending up for that Darth Maul, by the way.
I mean,
and non-deluxe too.
It's it's a great piece, but it's just like it's still just a normal piece at the end of the day. It's just that the fact that everybody's getting to the point they're anxious. Like, I just want my stuff now. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm just waiting for the stuff that I've been paid off to just start showing up. Wanda, I have no idea when that's going to realistically hit here. I mean, that's paid off too. I know Brick, yours is paid off as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So like, if my experience is the same as Jack, it's going to be like 6 months before I see her or something like that. So, man, I'm trying not to even think about it, to be honest with you here. Because
Hera, I was super excited for that, and I'm like, oh wait, I probably won't see her till the end of summer. Damn it.
Yeah, if you're lucky
right.
here.
Right.
But yeah,
unfortunately, that's kind of the way that 2025 has gone so far. But hopefully it gets sorted out a little bit. But hey, congratulations on the Dewback. Looks awesome in the collection, and it's just one of those pieces you can really build around too. It's not like I love this Batmobile, but I can't really put much around it because of the girth that it has. So like
so much girth tonight,
much
girth.
Dewback, you can easily put stuff around it, make yourself a little Tatooine diorama. Brick, what did you do
just
today?
Right. If I can just end that for you there, that sentence. It's just right.
It's just right. Brick, what did you do today, and did you get any new figures within the last week?
Well, I Miss Margot, I worked for a couple of hours. I drove home, picked up my son because he had a half a day as well, and we went to a place called Pizza Ranch, which is like a pizza buffet / fried chicken and mashed potatoes, which I tend to get more chicken than I do pizza there. Did that. That was a lot of fun. Had a little bit of ice cream at the end of my meal. Came home, and the very first thing I see are my dogs, and they're happier than ever. And then all of a sudden, my dog squats and pees right in front of me. So that was cool.
So happy.
Okay. And on the carpet, too. That's the part that makes me
always find the carpet.
All the eye contact, I bet, too. Just looking at them.
Oh, yeah. She's looking. I'm like, are you peeing or sitting? And she was peeing. Anyways, TMI. And so took her outside.
And he beat her.
And get that part. And then just played some baseball with my son. Then took him to practice. did not realize his baseball practice for an 8-year-old was going to be 2.5 hours. Sat there for a while. It was fun to watch and everything. Came home and my dog vomited in front of me. That's my day.
And for my next trick.
So hopefully she's okay. Because she's
I was going to say, is your dog okay?
I hope
normal.
My wife. My wife was like,
difference?
"Oh, there's broccoli in there." I'm like, "No, honey, that's the green treat that she had a while ago today." So, yeah, interesting day.
Well, and any figures within the last week?
Oh yeah, no,
Any arrivals?
no, but I have 2 shipping, emails, notification emails, whatever you call them.
Yeah.
So I got Black Suit Toby arriving probably the end of next week, as well as the Purple Rain suit Spider-Man. So 2 Spider-Men in 1 week once again. So bring it. Let's go.
Bring it. Well, I myself got 2 figures today, and both are non-Spider-Man, but Bank Robber Joker Toppo set. Very, very sweet to have that back in the collection. And then I faltered. I got the Catwoman. I had a deal that I just couldn't pass up, and I'm actually pretty happy with her. Goggles down, by the way. Pretty happy with her and how she looks. Time will tell on how that figure ages in the collection. But I was thinking about doing a review for you guys, but it's been so long since she came out. Plus, I'm going on vacation this week, so I just kind of wanted to enjoy that one. As DLO says, sometimes you just need one for yourself, and that was the one I took kind of to just, get into the collection. I didn't really even mess around with her because I'm like, this is one I'm probably not going to pose a whole lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got her into the collection, and then also a good friend of the channel, Batman Collectibles, decided to send me this little nifty gift, the in art. The Dark Knight Rises 1/12 figure. So I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, just out of the blue, just being a nice guy, and that's kind of what's so awesome about this hobby is that collectors, from time to time will just, hey, I want to give you a nice gift, and so I'm definitely going to find a place for that on the desk here. So thank you, Batman Collectibles. Looking forward to unboxing that and kind of seeing what this 1/12 stuff is all about. So other than that, I don't think I have anything else coming into the display here. Really quickly, before we say hi to you guys in the chat, before we kind of get the show going, we got 52 in the house. Hit that like button. Subscribe to my friends' channels, as always. And I'm going to throw this out there. Got a couple figures that I'm looking to sell. So if anybody in the chat is interested, DM me and try to hook you up with a deal. I'm looking to sell 2 Star Wars figures. The Mandalorian, the Chrome TMS-052, and then Mandalorian Transport Trooper. They kind of go together. So if you want both, I'll give you a good deal. But DM me if anybody's interested, or hit me up in the chat and I'll reach out to you. Looking to get rid of those figures here soon. Otherwise, yeah, we'll see what happens. D'Lo's in and out, but I know he might be wanted to do a shout out, see if anybody was interested in a couple figures. Brick, are you selling anything?
Yeah, Sweetness is up for $1,200.
Sweetness?
Yeah, Venom.
Oh, yeah, 21 inches.
No, I can't sell anything right now. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, not right now.
Man, you are one content collector. I love it.
Yeah, well, I'm happy with my collection, and it's a pain in the butt to sell. So put those 2 together, and I just can't do it.
Gotcha.
And I don't like getting ripped off. Like no matter what you sell today, you're gonna get ripped off.
Rip me off.
Unless you have like a brand new in-box Artisan or in-art figure, you're gonna lose money.
Silly Vanilli says he about to sell his dog. LOL.
Yeah. And always in the wonder, she's old. Well, she's not very old, but
she's getting there.
She's still young enough to not let that happen.
D'Lo, anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to tell the chat about? If anybody's up for
let's see
giving
here.
you a DM for any figures you're looking to unload?
Honestly, yeah, I got a few things here I'm working on. Let's see here. I've got quarter scales. I got quarter scales in my collection here. So I have what do I have? I have Dark Knight, I have Batman Begins. I think they both come with a Jackson U cape as well for them. And I think I also have a Joker as well too. And I also have an Iron Man Mark III quarter scale.
You're just getting out of quarter scale altogether?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been out for a while, but it's one of those things like when you're constantly collecting, you're just basically taking stuff out of the cases and kind of putting them somewhere else. And I've gotten to the point where like I should really start getting to some of this stuff. So I'm gonna put that up for sale. What else here? I've got some Rogue One stuff as well too, some troopers that I'm gonna be doing as well. So I got a little bit of something for everybody over here. So yeah, if you're looking for something in particular, hit me up. I might have it.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, let's see who is joining us tonight before we get this show on the road. Thank you guys so much for watching us each and every week. We have the OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. What's going on, my friend? Too sweet. We got Valkyrie Magnus ready for the show. Good to have this guy here. Good evening, Graham, Brick, DLO. Let's have a fun live stream tonight. Let's do it, man. It sounds like a good time. Clinton Martin, howdy to you. Well, let's see. We have you guys were spamming the chat here a little bit to try to get your ranks up higher, so I appreciate that. We got Silly Vanilli, Brandon. What's up, everyone? How you doing, Brandon? We got Dinjarin. Hello. Welcome in. He's kind of excited for that 007 figure. We're going to talk about that tonight for sure. Tighter FL channel member. What's up, everyone? Got to catch up on the leaderboard. Throwing all of those channel member emojis around. Too sweet to you, my friend. Neilorific. Hello. Good day, fellow collectors. It wouldn't be Wednesday without Wolfpack. Woo! Striker 47. Got my Fantastic Four tickets. Went to an early screening for the Ballerina movie. I hope Hot Toys creates the figure. See it in 40X. It's insane. Brick's been talking about getting the Superman tickets, so we're probably going to go see that.
I might be buying 10 for opening night.
There you go.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
We got the Ben Thomas show. Hey, everyone. Too sweet to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good week. One Adam 12. Hey, Wolfpack. Happy Wednesday. Too sweet. I was in my collection room waiting for this party to start. Appreciate that, my friend. Neil says, I love the Bond franchise. Just can't decide whether I love the figure yet. Shaken or stirred. Talk about that. We got Brandon Cormack. Hey, Wolfpack and fellow collectors. My father Django is in the house as well. He says, Django, my father Django. Hello, Wolfpack. We got Fig Poser. What up, though? How's it going, my friend? Thank you for being here. Curtis Booth, another friend of the channel. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good week. Yeah, it's been hectic, but it's been good. I can't say it's been terrible. Doc Bat, hello, friends. Adric 23, hello there. Mike Literis, all channel members. Sup Packsters. It's an interesting terminology we can go with, Packsters. Kind of like that. It's got a little ring to it. He says my XP is weak. We got Nick's Collectibles. What's up, Nick? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. And there he is, the big dog, Pound One. Woo! He is in the house. Good to have him here as well. Yep, Sylvia says you'll be near me in Tennessee. I'm in Kentucky. Yeah, we are going to Knoxville this year. We were in Nashville last year, and actually Kentucky the year before that. So we've been really hitting that area hard the last few years. But hey, going to Buffalo Trace 3 years in a row, gonna get me some whiskey and some swag. So I'm all for it. I need some insulin to deal with this being too sweet. We got our awesome moderator in the house. They call me Queso Blanco and channel member. What's up, everyone? What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here, Austin. Hammer of God. What up, Wolfpack? Oh, I feel like whenever Hammer of God is here, it's a better chance we have a drop. So let's hope.
It's going to be a long night.
News. Wow, we are live.
Any predictions through the night if something releases or announces?
What did I hear is imminent? I don't remember. I'm going
to say Wolverine. I got to be
right.
right.
Wolverine, I think, was the one that was I think I saw a list someone put online. I don't
It's
know.
Wolverine. There's like 2 troopers from, I don't know, maybe it's Clone Wars or something.
Echo and Fives.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a big one.
And then something else.
Sounds exciting.
Okay. Brandon says my YouTube video of my collection is now up to 10 views. Huh? Dude, send me the link. I'll check that out. I love to watch collection tours. If I could find out a way,
chat, man.
Yeah, if I could find out a way to receive a collection tour from some of you that don't do YouTube but would like, to share, I would love to share that for you. I just don't know how people like how do you send a video that's like gigabytes worth without it compressing and losing quality these days, I'm not really sure. So if you all figure that out, hey, feel free to, I'm more than happy to check it out too. But yeah, send me the link. We got Ryan Stadler. What's up, guys? Been too long. And here he is, the man himself, Batman Collectibles, member for 1 month. Good evening. My B-Day is Friday. Happy early B-Day, Jedi. Well, happy early birthday to you as well. Hope you are able to enjoy it. Man, on a Friday too. Mine's on a Wednesday, which, I mean, I'm not going to complain about, but being a Friday too, man, that's pretty sweet this year. So congrats. Happy birthday. Hope you
Happy
have
birthday,
a
bro.
great weekend. We got Kirby in the house. What's up, Wolfpack? With Chris Santos. Hey, Jedi Knights, DLO, and Brick. How are you doing today? Doing well. Well, probably doing better than Brick, just by a little bit, but haven't been dealing with any bodily fluids in the house. But Dubek definitely has that impact.
Oh yeah, for sure.
1-6 Delight is here as well. We are going to have a great show with all you guys. X-Man Supreme, dear Brickery Sweetness stood a tall, proud, veiny black 21 inches in my mono case today. He was proud. I was proud. We were proud together. Proud.
So do you have a 21 inch as well?
Make your daddy proud.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna make you proud, daddy.
That's why
Stuff
I call
writes
him
itself,
Supreme.
honestly.
Oh man, you guys seen Freddy Got Fingered, right?
It's been a long time.
It's been a while, but yeah.
Make your daddy proud. I'm gonna make you proud, daddy. Proud. Proud.
That man is a sick comedic genius.
Oh my gosh.
I want to try the horsey.
I loved him in Road Trip.
Yeah, Road Trip was good.
Very good.
With the snake and oh gosh.
Mike says he peed and vomited broccoli during Brick's mini collection tour. Out of excitement, though. I think my Hano Magneto's coming soon. We got Field of Burn in here. Hello, gentlemen. What's going on, Robert? Hope you're doing well and having a great week. Stacy, welcome in. Good evening. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody, so forgive me if I did. Brad says, anybody have Harley Quinn Artisan? My waitlist opened on Sideshow. So are you asking if anybody needs her, Brad? Like that you're giving her away?
I do have her pre-order though, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, same.
Same. Through the movie canon, thankfully. It was a bad day. Bad day. We have SJC 360. I was on there for an hour and a half after it probably sold out trying to get it in my cart. Just saw Ballerina. So much fun. I gotta watch that, man.
Yeah, I want to see that.
That's in theaters right now, right?
This
Not
week,
straight.
It
right?
officially comes out. I think there's early show. No, I'm not even going to talk. It might have came out this past weekend, but I thought there was early showings now, and then it officially is out this weekend.
It is
Okay.
early showings. Officially Friday.
Okay.
Officially Friday. We have Frank in the house.
Ooh.
What up, boys? What's going on, Frank? Too sweet. We have Asante. Happy Wednesday. Hello, fellow collectors. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. DLO The Collector, of course. Drop the Hot Toys hammer. We have a super chat from OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. $2 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. let's see if this puts me back in the lead. Now, I do notice there is like a little delay when it comes to the super chats and stuff. So give it a little bit of time and hopefully the XP hits. But you don't have to wait for a nice thank you from me.
Thank you so very fucking much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much.
It's like polite and rude at the same time.
Thank you so fucking much.
Oh boy. And then Mike kind of coming right back at him with the $2 Google Drive. Oh man. You guys are getting me hyped for this show.
Man, I'm so hyped right now. Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
Mike, you make me feel like a champion with that $2 super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. And yet another super chat from OG fan. Brick had an original collection tour drop today. I got to watch that yet. I have not been able to view that, but I told him after the show I'm definitely going to be going to that next.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, OG fan.
Thank you very fucking much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much.
Did you
All
just,
right. He's there, post.
So before I think before I asked you guys, Mike caught it. He's like, "Did you just quote Freddy Got Fingered?"
Oh man.
God, that movie was so funny and stupid.
A long time ago. Got to go back and watch it.
Dude, back when we had comedies.
Dude,
Yeah.
tell me about it.
We have a Hoffness Monster. Hi, y'all. Love the profile pic as well. It's a good one. Did any of you order the Airborne Trooper? And if so, have y'all gotten y'all's yet?
So I did. I ordered the Trooper, but yeah, just like you, Ryan, I was hoping that would be something that was dropped quickly because I've been in a little bit of dry spell because nothing is overseas coming in yet. If it is, it's super small batches. So yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Ryan. I ordered it and still hoping to hear from them soon about that one.
Daddy, do you want some sausage? Jeez. You know what that's from?
To quote from something.
Freddy.
It's the same movie.
Same movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I gotta get inside the animals. We have 12-inch Moose Stream. Hello, community of collectors. I'm holding out for David, is it Niven? And George, oh gosh.
Lazenby.
James Bond.
Lazenby. Yep.
You guys are going to find out if you don't know already. I'm not familiar with James Bond much at all. So these two guys are really going to carry that conversation. I might ask some questions, but these two are going to be the ones that might be a little bit more interested in that than me. Really happy, though, that we're getting it just because it's something different, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Valkyrie Magnus with the $1.99 super chat. So glad to be here for Wolfpack Wednesday. Hey, man, we are glad to have you here. This is a welcoming table for everybody to sit at, and we just want you to enjoy your stay.
And by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Going from Post Malone.
It's me every time. I know, right?
So effing much.
Gosh. All right, guys. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you so much for the generosity. Thank you so much for watching us each and every fucking week. It's time to get going. We got 57 in the house. I do want to start with one thing. Might be old news, but I at least want to get the boys' and your opinions about this because I've been thinking about this more since. Did we talk about Predator last week? It was last week, right?
Yes, we did.
And I feel like we were all very excited. We understand minor things that aren't accurate, but it didn't bother us because it's a Predator. You know, like DLO, I think, said, like, it's not like certain figures where we might overanalyze it. This is more of like, hey, man, it's a cool looking Predator. But then as I started to see a little bit more info, D-Night, Hot Toys Hotline, amongst others, I kind of saw myself being a little bit less and less excited, still wanting to get the figure, but the one thing is they compared it to well, let me just show you guys. They compared it to the Jungle Hunter from. Oh wait, no, this is the OG, right? No, it's that old. I think this is the Jungle Hunter from Predators. Is what I was hearing. Let me check this out. I just want to make sure. Man, MMS 162. Yeah, this is the Jungle Hunter. So this is from the Predators movie. So they compared it to a figure that they really shouldn't be basing this figure off of because it's a totally different movie. They should be basing it off of the OG Predator that they did from the movie Predator. So a little weird there, but then also someone in the community too shared like just sizes of the Predator compared to other figures. And really, that's kind of what bothers me the most is just the size of the figure, that it should be taller. You know, he powered over Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie. Like, he was a good amount taller than him. And like right now I have my OG, I have this guy right here standing next to John Wick, and he's barely taller than he is. You know, just some normal dude. So anyways, I wanted to show these pictures, get your guys' thoughts. Are you a little bit less excited or a little bit more, I don't want to say up in arms, but I guess like concerned about the figure and kind of some of these things that they're really basing off the wrong figure as opposed to the actual movie?
Yeah, I mean, you want accuracy, right? When it comes to these figures, that's why we spend $300 to $400 on these figures. We want the accuracy. We want the right height. We want the right length if it's coming to vehicles. We want, you know, the bodies and the proportions to look correct. You know, we want the head sculpt to look a 10 out of 10 every time. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a disappointment once you find that out. But honestly, I'm still very excited for this figure. I'm still very excited to get a badass looking Predator. Am I jumping on the pre-order right now? No. Do I hope they fix it? Yes. Do I think they will? I don't think so.
Moose Stream says it should be 15 inches tall in 1/6. Appreciate that. Still pre-ordered. I'm kind of there with you, Moose Stream. Like, it's not going to be a deal breaker for me, but at the same time, it would be nice if they scaled it right.
Yeah.
DLO, what are your thoughts?
You know, it's one of those things where like you were totally happy with something, and then once someone points out something about it, you can't unsee it.
Exactly.
You know?
I would have been fine if you guys didn't put it all in the comments.
Yep. But I mean, wouldn't be collecting if that's the case. And well, listen,
True.
It's part of the process, and in a way, you're still helping us find a way we can get to possibly the right middle ground to where Hot Toys can fix it and we can be satisfied as collectors here. But you know, like, yeah, when you think about it from an age perspective over here, bodies used to be a lot smaller back then, right? So I guess you can kind of fib it a little bit and get away with the size discrepancy. But Hot Toys in general, even basic human figures, are much taller than what they were today. I mean, look, compare an episode 4 New Hope Luke to a figure by today's height standards. Massive difference. Massive. They're all gotten taller over time. So look at Batman's the 1.0 to 2.0 difference. Even heck, Cody to Cody, 1.0 to 2.0. You know, so I mean, Hot Toys is definitely scaling all their figures taller. So I guess my biggest gripe, besides the inaccuracies, in a way I can almost live with them, but the height is the one that really irks me the most now, because you really can't unsee that, because there's no way Arnold or anything today should be at the same height as the Predator, you know? And then you start thinking to yourself, you think back of all the good things you thought about the figure, like, man, that price was really good. Well, no kidding, that price is that. Because, I mean, think of the Feral Predator. The Feral Predator is $400.
Yeah,
brand new. But it's scaled correctly, height-wise and all that stuff there. So are you saying is like, hey, we'll give you a better deal on this figure that you want, but we won't fix it? Is that the message we're sending here? So, I mean, it's hard to say if this was just laziness or just a cash grab or just they didn't realize that they messed up. Who knows? But for me as a collector, like, you know, that's my Predator. That's the one I grew up with. That's the one I would be most interested in if I was going to get one. So the fact that I know in the back of my head that this is wrong now, Of course, that makes me not want to pre-order, and of course, that makes me want to wait and see if they're going to fix it. But the bigger question is, if they don't fix it, which, like Brick pointed out, there's a high likelihood that's not going to happen. Do I sit here and just suck it up and just buy it, or should I vote my wallet and say no? I'm not going to buy this particular one. So it's a tough call because it's an emotional call. I want this figure, but at the same time, now that I know what's wrong with it, I kind of don't want it without them fixing it. So right. I'm kind of torn.
Any chance that you guys think they do fix it?
No, I don't. I honestly don't have.
I do think it's lazy, by the way, and I think that's why. I do think they're really just basing it off of the Jungle Hunter, and they're just.
And I think they're just trying to save some money too, and not make a new body and. Or a bigger body. There's just too much of that going on, though. Like, honestly, at this point, like, aside from wanting to make money, why bother doing it? I mean, I guess that's the answer, right, to its own question. But it's just like, don't you care? I mean, does Hot Toys even care about their reputation anymore? Withholding some of that, legitimacy of buying. If you buy from us, you're going to get a quality figure. It just feels like now we're just kind of repainting, reissuing, and recycling. Right.
So I feel like they've done this recently too on something else, and I know it's kind of here and there, but something kind of stuck in my mind where I was just like, really, like again, like it just gets a little frustrating at times, when they don't put the effort in, especially when it's something so easy to do. And this is not something we can tell by prototype photos. This is something that they're showing us now. So also got to give a shout out to Daniel in the Facebook groups. He's the one that put this together, so I got to give him props for sharing these photos on Facebook. And I also got to say hi to Uncle Ray from Hawk Wars Toys, the man that hooked up DLO with the dewback, the man who will hook you up too if you're willing. He has I have a 5% code that you can find in the description below to his eBay store, so he will take good care of you. And he is live from Disneyland, that SOB. Hope you have a great time there, Ray. Be safe, and bring me back a Mickey Mouse hat. Thank you. Also, Mike says, this is probably my most frustrating announcement, only because they put no new effort into it. They took stuff they had right years ago, made it worse. That's the biggest problem. I think I remember the figure that's coming to mind. 89 Batman. You had it right earlier. You put no effort into making it better, and you took a step backwards with the figure. Still good figure, by the way. But those are the things that just bother like diehard fans. And I guess I wouldn't say I'm a diehard Predator fan, but I am a fan. But like Batman, like that bothered me about that. The face plates, the cowl shape, the texture on the suit, like stuff like that is just kind of like, what are we doing? Like, it was fine. So sometimes they just do something that they shouldn't, but then sometimes they don't do something that they should. And there's, again, the hardest company I've ever had to try to figure out. They have no rhyme or reason to kind of what they do, when they do it, and how they do it. So, but I totally agree. Like, the effort sometimes is just not there. Like, okay, we'll give you this, but we're not going to put 100% into it.
But the weirdest thing, they'll put effort into the weirdest things.
Mantis.
Right. I mean, there's a bunch of figures I can't think of right now that, like, I was like, wow, they really, between the accuracy, between the accessories, they will go really all out. I mean, think of like Squid Game, for example. The Squid Game 2 figure. That figure looks incredible. It looks absolutely incredible. Right. The accessories, the accuracy to the actor and all that stuff, that's going to be a great piece when it comes out.
You think it has something to do with, like, they do a really good job on figures they know they're not going to be doing a lot of 2.0s of? Like we always talk about, like, the way Apple does things, right? Like, we know we're going to make a new Luke. Like, we can't make the best thing right now, but are we ever going to make another Mantis? Let's make sure it's perfect. That way people actually buy it now, so. So,
Brick, question for you. With that logic, should I go and pick up Indiana Jones before I see, like, because that figure is amazing.
Yeah, man. I mean, you love Indiana Jones. I do think a young version is coming, but who's to say you can't have both of those versions when that version looks very good? So if it was me and I had a Spider-Man that was like an old Toby version or something, I would choose that. And then when they made a young one, get that too. So yeah, I think you should.
I don't know, man. He's just not my indie though. That's the tough part because like this may be my last chance to legitimately get one, right? Or I'm patient and they do it, and then like, what
I
am
think
I
you
gonna do
should
with
buy
it?
it because then they will do it, and then I can reap the benefits of that.
In what way? What do you think I'm gonna sell to you at a deal or something like that?
No, you buy the old one, and then I know Hot Toys will
Ah.
make the young one, and then I can be able to get that, and
I see.
that's
So
what happens, right?
I get screwed over, but
One of
you're
us goes
okay.
backwards, or yeah.
Aren't you the one that's supposed to buy stuff and then everybody else gets happy stuff for it? Isn't that like your thing? Is it like you buy a 1.0 and like, oh, I got a really good deal, but I didn't because now everybody's gonna get the better deal with the 2.0. Isn't that kind of like your shtick?
That's my shtick.
2 days later.
That's why I'm asking you to take one for the team.
I mean, if I take one routine, like my odds and luck would be different. Like Hot Toys can go bankrupt the next day. Like you don't want that. I mean, let's stick with what we know.
Oh man. Adam says, my question is, has Hot Toys ever fixed the figure before release with a big height discrepancy? I don't think they have. Well, and because like this would be an all new body and all new pretty much everything, right? Because they'd have to scale everything correctly. So to me, I just don't see them doing it because again, a little bit lazy. Like they're basically just going to do the same.
Well,
the same figure.
I can't say height, but proportions they fixed. That what comes to mind is Peacemaker. Peacemaker was a figure that wasn't the greatest, and they went back silicone arms. They really made it a great piece. So, but I don't know if they changed the height, but they have had modifications done. Like
they
that.
fixed figures such as somewhat the Black Suit Toby, not as much as we wanted them to, but they did a little bit. And then, 2099, that was a big fix very quickly. So they listen more than we think. Keep complaining, guys.
It's actually secretly positive when you do.
It really is.
It is.
There's a reason sometimes we complain because we want it to change. X-Man says scaling is important when you're advertising as a scaled piece. Yeah, I never understood that. When you
That's true.
say it's 1/6 scale, but then it's not really scaled correctly, like their vehicles, for example, too. It's just, I get why they do it. I get it. But to advertise it as a 1/6 scale just kind of seems a little weird. Yeah, Mantis is badass. She's awesome. You can probably see her foot right there.
Oh, it's a beautiful foot.
That's what I was looking at. I was admiring that foot.
Oh, let's see here. Man, you guys are... yeah, when are we ever going to get 1/6 Ninja Turtles? Yeah.
Yes. I don't care if they're animated or from the movie. I just want some 1/6 scale turtles. Come on. Anybody.
Why
Well, they
doesn't
got those-
Disney build them?
They got those ones that are like super expensive because they're old. I don't remember what company made those.
You mean
Michael
3-0 from the
No,
movies?
not 3-0. They're more of like the animated style. They're like, I want to say they're like $600 a piece.
Oof.
Yeah, come on, Hot Toys.
I don't know. They look pretty legit too. Let me see if I can find them because I would enjoy showing you guys that. I don't
Since
remember.
we're wishing, let's get the Mummy going, baby. That's what I want.
Oh, the Mummy,
Mhm.
Turtles.
So
I
you
want
want-
Rocky
you want Brandon
figures
Fraser,
back,
right?
man.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
How do you not have Brendan Fraser at this point? It's almost criminal.
I think I would get every Rocky figure they made if they brought that back.
That's a tough one not to collect. I'm kind of with
I
you.
mean,
right
Rocky,
there.
Creed. I mean,
Yeah, that's a tough one,
there's
man.
a lot.
Drago, baby.
Drago, baby. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of good figures.
Oh, the Dream X Turtles.
Clubber Lang. Yeah,
These
those
guys.
are from like the Nickelodeon.
6 scale. Yeah.
Yeah.
They look pretty cool.
But why nobody has done, the OG in 1/6. I mean, NECA does a phenomenal job with their 12th scale and all that, but in quarter scale. But where's the 1/6 scale figures at?
Seriously,
I don't know if
they haven't touched it.
Do you think scaling is different licenses? So like,
Yeah,
maybe they're better
Yep.
off with what they've been doing financially. I don't know.
I heard that does sometimes, depending on the company and the property, that yes, the scale does matter in your negotiations when you're getting the license. So it's possible.
yeah.
Yeah, NECA's done some really good stuff
NECA's
with those
awesome.
turtles.
I
Insane.
got the quarter scales up there.
Quarter scale, but even just their 7-inchers are
Yep.
so cool. Whether it's 1990 or the animated stuff. I kind of wish I had some of my NECA turtles back, but the problem was I was displaying them in the box, kind of like Funko, and I just I don't enjoy that as much, just having the box of it. So yeah, kind of let them go. So is this going to stop anybody on the panel from pre-ordering this figure?
I'd say it might for me. I'll be honest about it there. Like I'm not pre-ordering it. I've got to see improvements here because, like, yeah, I mean, it's going to be in a random case for me. I don't have a Predator section, right? So I don't have another Predator to put him next to. He's going to be on his own. He's going to be next to a RoboCop, a Terminator 2.0, all that stuff. If he looks weird and he's on their side, it's going to throw off the display. So I don't know. I really generally am holding out for that. If not, I might pivot and might spend the extra money to just get the Feral Predator. At least it's accurate.
True. Does the new scaled Predator have a bendable torso like the Prey Predator? I believe so. I believe they're using that same. No?
No, isn't that like the 12 packs? Like, yeah, it doesn't have any torso moving as far as I know.
All right. Because I know they were doing that new technology with this one as well.
That's gonna be a hardened stomach, bro. That ain't gonna have no torso articulation at all.
Okay.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I believe it when he sees it. All right. Well, let's end this poll. I asked you, the chat, does the scaling of this Predator bother you? 63% said yes. 36% said no. It should bother you. Doesn't mean you're not going to buy it, but I think it should bother you. Speak with your wallet. That's tough to do these days.
Easier said than done.
You know
bro.
what, Nick? I tried to do that with Spider-Man, but everybody I know pre-ordered him, and I had to go on the wait list because I was strong. And then I wasn't strong.
I was strong.
And then I wasn't strong because he sold out because nobody kept their word, Nick.
I had to go on the wait list because I was strong.
Rick was a one-man
I
protest.
stayed strong as long as I could.
Oh my god.
That's
And-
too funny, man.
Now I got him.
Oh man.
I'm looking
That's
forward to your
fun.
unboxing on Instagram, Nick. It's gonna be good.
Rick's gonna make people sign contracts next time. We are doing this together. Too
All right.
funny.
Let's move on to the next topic here. And it is we got Moose Stream sending me all these images. I'll have to look at those later, my friend. What do you guys want to talk about next? We got Bond. We got InArt. We got Toppo even. We don't really talk too much about Toppo.
I don't know. You want to leave it up to the chat to decide our next topic, or somebody want to pick one right now?
Brick, you want to pick something?
Let's get Toppo. Let's talk Toppo.
Toppo. Interesting. Bold.
Interesting. Bold choice. I like it.
Bold choice, which
Yeah.
can only mean one thing. A
Hot
brick
take.
hot take. Hot take is coming.
time.
Here we go. Oh,
Hot takes.
get your popcorn, folks. It's about to
Guess
get
I'm
good.
Oh man. Okay. Toppo does great work. Have a lot of their stuff in my collection. It's to the point when, Hot Toys does kind of maybe fall short on some of this detail and likeness to the character that they're doing, but Toppo can sometimes either just give you a cheaper alternative, or they'll do some things kind of, maybe, I hate saying it this way, but like the right way. or the more authentic way. So what they've come out with here is Anakin. So the movable eyes that I believe are accurate to Revenge of the Sith.
Accurate color, yeah.
Okay. The robe, genuine leather vest, and then obviously the rest is the Hot Toys figure. So basically what they're doing is they're saying, hey, we'll give you the accurate eyes to Revenge of the Sith. We'll give you the leather parts and a new robe that might drape better. So I guess my question for you guys is, as exciting as this is, and as happy that I am that companies do this kind of stuff, I mean, the figure's already going for like over $1,000. Is this something that like, is this something that like kind of upsets you to an extent, or are you happy that companies do this, or do you think that like Hot Toys should just kind of get their act together, make a damn cape that can drape nice, you know, make leather parts for the outfit and stuff like that? Like, what are your thoughts on seeing something like this when you already know the figure is so damn expensive?
I actually think that Hot Toys is working on an Artisan Dark Side Anakin for, you know, everyone. And I do believe that there's a chance that it could be all leather. I do believe that it's going to have the correct eyes because it's going to be labeled Dark Side Anakin. So with Toppo doing this, it's cool and all. However, I'd be really pissed off if I already spent $700-800 on this figure, you know, paid all the fees and whatnot, and then all of a sudden I'm not okay with the figure and I have to make it even better. I'm not a big custom guy. So if I'm spending $1,000 on a figure, spending another, I don't know, $100-200 to get the real leather, to get the eyes, you know, and all that, it's like, why am I spending the money on the Artisan figure already, knowing too that there is a chance that Artisan or Hot Toys will come out with an actual Dark Side Anakin, you know, maybe a few months after you get this stuff. I don't know. So for me, for people who do this, it's fine. Graham, I know you do certain customs and DLO, and they look really, really cool. But for me, I'm so scared that if I put in new eyes for my Anakin Skywalker that I spent $1,000 for, and I fuck up that hair and I mess up those eyes, and I can never put the old eyes back in, and I customize them so much, and now I can't sell the actual figure. That's the stuff that gets me a little worried and concerned. Yeah, and that's why I can't, you know, that's why my collection doesn't look as good as your guys'. I get it.
Oh, stop. You got a great collection.
Thank you. I needed to hear it.
Or a compliment. Yeah, he needed that. I drop a video and I need a compliment.
You know me too well.
He thinks he's so smooth.
And it looks good. It does. It looks good. I just there's a lot of thoughts in my head when it comes about that. You know, all that stuff. Like how do you take the eyes out? Do you do that from the back? Do you do that from the front? Do you scratch up the corners of the eyelids? Do you hold the hair back and have the glue rip off when you put the new eyes in?
You're overthinking this.
Yeah, you're really overthinking it.
But
pliers,
am I?
Man. Pair of pliers. That's it.
Pair of pliers to an Artisan figure I spent $1,000 on?
Yeah, the skinny
on the
ones.
inside.
On the inside? You're making it sound
inside of the head.
You yank them out. Yoink. That's it.
Pop them out.
Man.
They pop.
Can you put them back in?
Yeah.
Man, you guys are brave. Brave souls.
I've done worse.
Always do it from the back. That's what she said. Boink.
All right.
And pull the hair.
So, but if you guys did spend the money on this, and let's say you guys spent $1,000 on an Anakin, or even $700, and then I don't know how much this Toppo stuff is. I'm guessing it's a couple $100.
No, come on, man.
No.
But you get the leather, you get the eyes. Mm-hmm. What else do you get? You get one more thing,
baby.
The robe. Do you guys think it's only gonna be $100?
And I just bought a whole Joker bank robber figure for like $160 without the box.
This will probably be $150 because I mean people are selling the eyes for like $75 easily. So
I'm gonna say $1 to $150.
I'd say $150 is probably where it's gonna land. When it's all
$700 because of the limited Artisan plus $150. That's $850 if you're lucky and got the Artisan before.
I think at this point, though,
let's say you buy this, though,
like
and
I
you
spend so much money, so why do I want to get this? But I think at that point, if I spend $1,000, I'll be like, what's another $150 to get this figure?
Yeah,
No, I get
top.
that, but then what happens when they announce the actual Artisan Darkseid Anakin in a few
Well, that's
months?
something you got to ask yourself before you do this.
Right,
I mean,
and that's
honestly,
why I'm
that's
asking
something
it.
you should have asked yourself before you even bought this figure, because they are probably going to do that. So you got to say, am I okay if they do general release of Darkseid again? Like, am I okay spending upwards of $1,000 for this? Some people are, and some people are going to scratch themselves in the head and be like, "Ooh, what was I doing?"
Well,
But
if I may, I think we're approaching this the wrong kind of way here, because it's not Toppo's fault for coming
No,
up with a solution.
I'm so glad Toppo's around.
Right. I mean, honestly,
for
it
sure. I'm not
it's
saying anything's wrong
it's
with
an
it. Yeah.
indictment on obviously how Hot Toys' ways of being lazy has left opportunities for other companies to come in there, swoop in and fix their problems and make it a profitable business for them. Because as collectors, we're going to always want accuracy. And at least I can't say I'm going to buy everything Toppo does. Toppo does good work. I've got a couple of their pieces, but I'd rather have them around than not have them around. Just deal with the
100%.
garbage. And also, do you hear yourselves talking over here? I mean, as far as, let's say I got this set to print this here and it with all its inaccuracies, and another one comes out, like I would either have to A, sell this figure, or B, try to find parts of the new figure to put on my figure. So I'd be doing it anyways, right? If I have that copy.
Over that bought this figure.
What's that?
Well, they screwed us over by
that bought this figure.
but they screwed us
no
over
one's
by
arguing
making
that.
it
There.
limited.
We just talked about the Predator 10 seconds ago. So believe me, this is nothing new. We're not, this isn't something we just started happening to us. Kind of comes with the territory, kind of uses with Hot Toys. So no excuse to them. I think the problem is here, it's a double-edged sword. We want them to get better. We want to get more accurate. However, what's the motivation for them to do so? Because at the end of the day, if we're still going to buy it and then we're going to go out our way and go to another company to fix it, why do they need to do it? Until it hurts their wallet, they're not going to change anything. That's kind of where it's at.
Yeah.
But I'm happy they're existing, because if I had that set to print this and, I wanted to get these better eyes and all the other stuff that comes with it there, I'd fork over another couple of $100 like Graham said, because at that point, who cares? At least I'm happy with my figure.
Yeah.
We got collector Joey in the house. I got to give him a shout out. Thank you for being here, my friend. I hope you're doing well.
What's up, Joey?
And we got Pescar Kid in the house too. Pre-order. I swear, this guy hears Star Wars and then he appears like he loves Star Wars, and I don't blame him for that. Pre-ordered 7 sets. Don't mind customizing figures. Do it with my motorcycles and cars too. I mean, that's an interesting way of looking at it too. Like kind of like stock and then kind of upgrading it and stuff too. So I get that, and I absolutely love that Toppo's around, but I get it. But kind of like what I've said in the past though is why doesn't Hot Toys do it doesn't cost anything extra to make a freaking cape that drapes nice for a Batman figure, but yet they refuse to kind of put the effort in and do that. It's not hard. You get the right fabric, you make some cuts, and boom, there you go.
How many Vaders did we have to buy before we got a nylon suit?
Right. It's just something that they don't really care about, but they're also in for making more money. So I feel like they want some of these figures to kind of maybe deteriorate over time so that you have to buy another one. But I also think with technology, they're going to get better and better too with likeness and stuff like that. So, and I don't know, it is a double-edged sword, because there's really no right answer, because it's don't buy the figure until they make it right, but you're going to wind up with no figures because none of them are 100% accurate. And we all do want the most accurate. So thank God for Toppo and Mars Toys that do some of these figures that, they won't do, or Jazz Inc. and stuff like that. So it's tough. It's tough to kind of, you almost feel like you have to straddle that fence, because there's no really one way to kind of.
Let me ask you, do you guys think from the photos over here, do you think the upgrades have elevated the figure, or do you feel like it's more of the same? Do you notice the difference, the benefits that they're offering with this?
Yeah, that's a good question. If I bought the figure and I spent that much money, I'd probably be more inclined to get this. But at the same time, do I need something like this? I don't think so. I'd have to see. Honestly, the thing that intrigues me the most is the robe and how that drapes. It's kind of like a cape, right? I almost don't want wires in my capes or in my cloaks or anything like that. Because I just want them to drape very nicely. And I get it. If you're a dynamic poser, you really do want the wire, because then you can kind of flare it out and stuff like that. However, most of these stock capes don't have a strong enough wire to really even hold much of a pose. It really just wrinkles the cloak or the cape and stuff like that. So like, I just want more of like the museum, the natural stance of the character, and I want that robe or that cape to really just drape nice and look realistic. So honestly, you know, would the eyes bother me that much? Probably not, because I'm not collecting Revenge of the Sith or prequels like hardcore, so it wouldn't really bother me as much. So I don't know if I'd be inclined. The leather is a nice touch, but I personally have never seen a vest from Star Wars flake. I'm sure they do, but it's not something you see like Catwoman. You see like 9 out of 10 of those figures. When you hear somebody say they have the Catwoman 1.0 and mine hasn't peeled yet, you're like, what? Like, what the hell? Like, because you don't see stuff like that. I don't really see this kind of stuff peeling much.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen the Anakin's vest peel. I can't think of a single time I've seen a post like that. If it has, it's happened. I've never seen it. But yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from with that there, because, you know, there's other figures that have bigger issues than possibly this one do here. But this right here, I mean, imagine buying your dream car. And like, I mean, like a real dream car, not like, you know, something super expensive, right? And then putting hubcaps on it. Right? I mean, just like, why would you do that? Like, no, if I can make my already great thing better, wouldn't it be worth spending the extra money and investing in that? I think for this here, if you got this figure over here, I don't care if you spent retail or spent $1,000. At that point, you're all in on this figure. It's not leaving your collection unless you're trying to profit off of that, which please let me know, because I'm looking for one.
Wow.
But
Hey now.
I'm always looking. But yeah, like if you're in it to win it, I think who cares? Do what's going to make you happy. If this is something you want to get, grab it. Because I don't think you're going to be disappointed. If you like what your photo is here, then you know you're going to like it when it comes in stock. So
nice.
But yeah, I mean, listen, this, like I said before, there's nothing against Toppo. Toppo's here because other people are slacking, and those people are not doing what they should be doing for collectors. And if they come to market with something that's going to be something that collectors want and are willing to pay for it, why should they not make money off of that, right? That's their business there. But yeah, this is just another situation where, like, until Hot Toys has been taught a lesson, and that we're not going to buy this, and I'd rather not buy it than give you more of my money for something I'm not happy with, then they're going to keep doing it. But
it's just hard to teach them that.
But that's a hard thing. We're in a bad game of chicken where, like, they know we're going to bluff at the end. You know what I mean? So we can rate, but voting with your wallet is a theory. It's theoretical. There's no such thing as truly voting with your wallet, because no one truly, at the end of the day, really does if it's something that you're passionate about, something you love. I know I've said a million times I'm not going to buy it, and then I see a ton of photos like blow up my feed with the figure that I'm passionate about. Like, no, I'm not going to buy it. Shit, I bought it. And that's me.
Now he's struggling with Indiana Jones. And the old man.
No, I'm really not. But Brick had a good point. Like, well, you know, like I never thought about it. Like, they make it so good because they're never going to make it again. Like, I never thought of that crap. Like, because they're, and you know, to everything Hot Toys screws up, when they hit, man, they hit out the park. You know what I mean? It's just like it's like baseball. You know, they don't hit for average. They hit for, you know,
they're swinging for the fence.
They're swinging for
striking out, or
man.
they're hitting a home run.
Yeah, man. So I mean,
when it comes to Toppo too, I'm not saying like don't do that. I'm not saying people are dumb that do that. I just come from a different perspective that if I'm personally spending that much money on a figure, and I feel, and then I still feel like I have to like customize it, I'm not going to buy that figure. Like I personally am only going to get the figure if I like it enough to buy it. You know what I mean? If I buy it and I'm like, it needs a lot of work. You know what I mean? Unless like I'm planning on that and it's like $150 figure or something, but something like this, personally, like I really have to like it to spend that much money. And we didn't know Toppo, this was happening until yesterday. So like for me to do that, I I really have to like the figure already, and if I'm paying $750, I don't want to customize it.
What if it's Spider-Man?
I was gonna, damn, you got where I was going.
What
I
if
was
it's
gonna go-
Spider-Man, but I'm not
Spider-Man
spending, but I'm not spending $750 on a Spider-Man.
No,
My average,
but
yeah.
but Toppo does things
but
like the cowled head sculpt.
but
for the
Graham,
Batman
have I
figures.
customized any Spider-Man?
No, but you're saying if you
No.
don't like the figure, you won't buy it.
But I like every Spider-Man that I have enough to buy it, and that's why I haven't customized my black suit Toby. I'm not doing all that. Like I'm fine with how they are. I'm fine being a pure, I guess, Hot
Purist.
Toys, and yeah, I'm fine with the look enough to buy it, and that's why I've done that.
And I totally respect that and understand where you're coming from. But then sometimes, so you're like, I spent that much money, I shouldn't have to spend more. But then other people are like, I spent that much money, and because I spent
sure,
that much money,
yeah.
I need to get it to look.
And
as
that's
good
what I'm
as
saying. This
possible.
is just my perspective
Yep.
on this, but I'm a-okay with people who do it, like you guys, like I mentioned. Like I think it looks
Sometimes
amazing.
too,
when you
though,
guys do it.
like for example, like BVS Batman was my first ever figure. Sometimes it's a figure that you've had for so long that needs an update, and they're like coming along years later, and they're like, "Hey, here you go," and then you're like, "Oh, sweet! Like I can make my 5-year-old figure a little bit newer and a little bit more fresh," and sometimes that helps too. So it's not. They don't typically always do it when a figure's brand new either. They'll just try to do some revamping or stuff like that for older figures too. So
the one Spider-Man that I've thought about customizing, I guess you can say that, is Miles Morales with the actual Jordans, but that's because they don't have license for Jordans.
Right.
So like I've thought about that, something small, but like the eyes and everything that who does it, like Vincent or something like that for the
for the
yeah.
lenses,
and they look so damn good, but for
Mhm.
me it's like, man, like do I spend $100 to make this Spider-Man perfectly perfect, or do I buy another Spider-Man? You know what I mean?
It's a valid question. And I think for you, honestly, I think you should stay away from it, because once you do,
then I'm
you're hooked. Everything's
I
gonna
literally
upgrade,
bought
dude.
a Dark Knight cowl before I even have a figure pre-ordered or purchased. Like I don't even have the figure, but I got the cowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I know eventually I'm gonna get it and I'll need it, because Hot Toys can't do Batman for some reason. So
At least not the Batman we want them to do.
right.
Yeah.
The Batman we deserve.
Mm.
And that's something too. I do not have a Christian Bale Batman because of all the negativity that I'm
You'd be better
talking
off
like
getting
the
Bruce Wayne.
community. Yeah, like I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, this looks great."
Ugh.
So like I don't have a Bale. But I've been DLO, I've been tempted on a quarter scale Bale. But yeah.
Oh,
Right. Probably never happened, but you and I talked about this about a year ago already.
Planting the
But,
What are you
seed.
talking about right now?
It's planting the seed.
but yeah, I don't know.
No, I mean, I hear where you're coming from, man, but it's one of those things where, like, we got into the hobby because we were chasing for most accurate representation of what we're passionate about. And sometimes it doesn't work out the way we want it to. And, if there's an opportunity that's within reason,
Sure.
a $50 cape or, a head sculpt or whatever to improve it. Actually, X-Men makes a great point. If we get into the Star Wars conversation, lightsabers, they all suck. Now there's these alternatives that are very pricey. Should we have to do that? I mean, that's a whole nother can of worms over there, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think if you're doing it for the things that you love the most, I don't see there being a problem you throwing a little bit of cash there just to make it the best version it can be for you, right? Like I did a video recently on the OT custom review on the head sculpts for those things, and I got to tell you, yeah, the Dark Knight suit has been my Achilles heel in this hobby. You guys know my story now. 4 or 5 of those Batmans, just slightly getting better every single time. I got fed up with it. I was tired of it because the way I looked at it here is, I'm such a Batman fan that despite my better judgment, every time they come on a new one, I want them selling the old one and buying the new one and still not being content. So the expense of doing something like that in my case was like, well, if I can get a figure that I'm satisfied with, then it's worth it to me, because now I don't have to feel the need to like chase the next one, because the one I made is the best one for me. So it's touchy, right? Because that's only one example. I've got hundreds of figures. If I did that for every figure, somebody
sure.
stop me, right? That's crazy. But I think for those things that you're passionate about, I mean, you're a huge Andrew Garfield Spider-Man fan. If you wanted those lenses, I don't think anybody in the community would blame you because they know how much you love that, right? And I don't think you would be mad at yourself after you do it because it would look great and you'd be even happier about a figure you're already happy about. So,
Sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, these companies are here providing a service. What we pay for those, what they charge for those, it's really irrelevant because there's nothing else in the market like it, right? So you can vote with your wallet with that. That's a safer vote than the figure because you're more likely to want the figure and not do the upgrade. But if you do the upgrade, hey, more power to you. I'm sure it's gonna look great.
Well, and thank God for like Jackson and OT and stuff like that too, because like Bale Batman, like it's still a very important Bale to me. And I didn't like the figure, right? That Hot Toys did. So if they didn't have that alternative for me, I probably wouldn't have that Batman in my collection. And, I'd have kind of like that hole or that gap because, like you, D-Lo, I've had the DX. I don't know. I've had the old Dark Knight Batman, then the DX12, DX19. Kind of like you, it's just like always something just always is just off. And then the Batman Begins was just awful in general. And if I didn't have that alternative in the back pocket, I don't know if I would have that in the collection, which would make me really sad. So yeah, I'm glad for these companies. Should we have to do it? Probably not, but I guess Hot Toys isn't really perfect either. But Ben Thomas says, I felt the same way Brick did originally, and then after I made some updates, I fell in love with some of my older figures again, which was surprisingly a good feeling. If it's old and needs to be updated, then sure, but not immediately upon release. That's insane. And I do feel like, though, it used to be more of like when a figure got old, but now it is becoming more and more. They're just finding these inaccuracies with these figures, and they're like, hey, we'll do this for you, and we'll do it. Which, again, depends on which side you kind of fall on. Could be a really good thing because you can get that figure almost exactly to how you want it. But it could be a bad thing because you're like, I just literally bought this figure as well. So depends on which side you're on there. Okay.
Shoot, I can see people buying this for the original Darkseid Anakin too. Maybe not for the eyes, but to get that leather on there and the robe.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need an Artisan version to get this. So.
And then just sell the eyes.
Yeah.
Or put them in another figure.
True.
Sure. Put them on Toby.
Maul. Update his eyes.
There you go.
All right. So overall, I'm excited though that Toppo is doing more and more stuff like this. I hope they continue to do that kind of stuff because, yeah, like I said, we're always chasing, the best, the most accurate 1/6 version of that figure. So I'm not gonna lie, like part of doing that stuff is kind of fun for me too. Kind of like kit bashing your own stuff. I kind of enjoy that. Just I don't know. I guess it's kind of like best card kit trade, you take something stock and kind of make it your own. So yeah. Big Dog Pound says InArt's not perfect too. Just received Paul Atreides. One of his legs is longer than the other. Shake my head.
Oh
wow.
God.
That's
Where'd
hard
you buy it
from? He bought it from InArt. He just told you.
Speaking of
InArt.
InArt.
He bought it from InArt?
Well, yeah, because InArt makes the figure.
Well, I understand. Okay. Yeah.
How is it Kit's fault? Or where
I know. I'm trying to figure out where he got it from so I know when mine is coming.
Oh, well, you should have led with that.
Well,
apology accepted.
Okay. Sorry.
Make it happen. What's next?
Next, since we kind of brought up InArt, let's talk a little bit about InArt. I know we kind of missed this, so we're backtracking a little bit. We're going to get to Shin and Bond next. But The Hobbit, we got Thorin officially announced by InArt, and they've been really quiet lately, so we figured we'd take a little gander at the figure. Man, they do a really good job with their head sculpts. Can't really deny that. I watched the first Hobbit, tried to watch the second, couldn't make it, so that was kind of it for me. I know you guys are bigger Lord of the Rings fans than I am. Just call myself kind of a casual. So I'll get your perspective on this one, and Brick, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think. Well, I'll start with this. They should stick with Lord of the Rings right now. Personally,
Just do a whole line, and then.
Yeah, I think they need to focus on something.
Do you think that would hurt sales though? Because like not everybody's into Lord of the Rings or collecting Lord of the Rings. So
I
like,
mean, but then they do the Hobbit, which is pretty much the same, but it's not. And then it's, you know what I mean? Like they
dabbling. You know, let's do a little DC here. Let's, you know, because it's kind of a bigger sell.
I think it's good that they do a little bit of DC and stuff, but when it's something as close to Lord of the Rings like the Hobbit, it's like, guys, right now people want to complete the Lord of the Rings and then go to the Hobbit maybe after or Game of Thrones.
Don't dabble between the two within each other. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But I mean, the figure looks amazing, right? The accessories, the sculpt. I mean, I don't think they've really failed on a head sculpt yet. They take their time with it, you know, great looking proportions. Is it for me? No, I will not be getting this figure. The Hobbit was fine. I actually think the Hobbit book was the best out of like the four, the Hobbit and then the 3 Lord of the Rings books. But the movie wise, the movies Lord of the Rings were just so much better. But yeah, I mean, he looks good. He really does. I'm not sure how well this will sell. You guys might have more input on that than me, but I do feel like there are a lot of people who weren't very happy with this trilogy. But absolutely love Lord of the Rings and maybe feel a little bit like me when it comes to that. But no, good looking figure. NR has not failed in that category yet.
Go ahead, DLO.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Hobbit fan. I'm more Lord of the Rings, quite frankly. But I've seen the Hobbit. It's decent. It's not as good, but it's still decent there. What I have to say is more about the choice as opposed to the quality of the figure. I think the figure looks excellent.
Yeah.
I don't really have an interest in it there. Like if it was anything, I would stick kind of like to more of the Fellowship, quite frankly.
Sure.
But I'm thinking to myself, like, man, what if they want to tap into both Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit? I'm thinking about memorable characters, at least my opinion, memorable characters from my time watching it. Is there really much more besides like Bilbo, potentially another Gandalf, which would be an interesting topic if they decide to touch. Well, I mean, it would be interesting because technically it'd be a 2.0, right? Because it'd be another Gandalf the Grey, technically.
Right.
So, I mean, that would be an interesting conversation if that came up.
Gollum, man.
That's
Gollum.
Gollum. I feel like Gollum is going to happen eventually. I'm not worried about. I think Gollum's coming eventually, but
that with a Bilbo would be sweet. 2-pack.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it more of a Frodo thing eventually that eventually.
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be Frodo and Gollum as well, but then we saw Frodo with Sam, that little tease. Yeah. So I was
it's not official though yet. That can always change as well.
That is true.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of echo what Brick says. Like, I would much rather, if I was getting into any line specific to Lord of the Rings, I would specifically have it Lord of the Rings. Like, you've got so many more people to put in the Fellowship that I think, quite honestly, would deserve a figure first over anything from the Hobbit. But I mean, that's just my preference because I'm a bigger fan of Lord of the Rings than the Hobbit. But all the same, it looks great. I kind of echo what you say as well too. I don't know how well this will sell. Simply because, again, I just don't think there's as much of a base as Lord of the Rings has. I mean, it has a base of its own, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think that this one here is going to fly off the shelves. Like, I feel like this one's going to sit more and take a longer time to sell out, quite honestly. And I don't know, does anybody know if this is just rooted only, or is this going to be a sculpted version too?
That's a good question.
What do you kind of come up with?
Yeah, they haven't listed anything else.
Well, I'm sure somebody will tell us at some point in here, but I will say though, like, I tried to look at the proto compared to the final. I would say this is pretty close, but I still give the edge to the proto. I think the proto was just like incredible. I thought it was like really impressive. This is really good, but definitely, despite how good this is, you can definitely tell there's still a downgrade from the original, but still very good nonetheless. But for me personally, I'm not interested. It's an easy pass for me. I got other things
Pass.
for myself to worry about there. But yeah, if you're watching anybody stream, can you please give us an update on Game of Thrones? That's the only thing
Right.
I'm interested in, quite honestly.
Same.
Maybe a BVS down the road, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe, or Wonder Woman, that would be cool too. And a proper Catwoman.
Christopher Reeve, I'd be interested.
Christopher, yes.
Yeah, where the hell's that? That's what, 2 years
Yep.
ago?
That and Game of
Been
Thrones.
there?
Yeah, they showed them both at the same exhibit as well too. The same one this guy was at. So interested to see an update on that there, because that would be exciting.
Yeah. Anyone getting the Frankenstein from Caustic Plastic? No. Looks
No,
cool.
but it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Speaking of Frankenstein, that latest trailer, Frankenstein, looks pretty sweet. Looks like a good movie.
Guillermo del Toro one? Yeah.
Yeah,
for
man.
Netflix.
Yeah. That's for Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think
Okay.
it's gonna be they're gonna have a theatrical run. I heard. I think that's gonna happen. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's a Netflix production.
Heck yeah.
The Frank Knight Rises says, Mr. Jedi Knight, your fluorescent spray paint lightsaber hack has my Star Wars collection looking awesome. I'm not going to lie. I've had some electronic difficulties with my USB hubs not getting enough power to like support more than like 2 lightsabers and then like maybe 1 light up base. And then they start flickering. I'm thinking I might seriously consider going back to just painting my blades the fluorescent color so that they stand out and just be done with it. I'm considering it because I can't keep buying CCFLs. They look great and I love the glow, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe some fluorescent paint and then you're all done.
You gotta take a look at your hubs, man. That sounds like that's a wattage issue.
You might have to look at what?
You might have a wattage issue. Like you might.
Yeah, I gotta retrace it back to the source of where it's plugging in stuff. I'm just not looking forward to that. So part of me is just like want to be done dealing with that. So I might just go back to the way it was. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you, appreciate that. I want to see some good rock goblins, and then
Oh, that'd be cool.
X-Man.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, I don't care who does it. Hot Toys do it again or NR give it to us. Like somebody.
Yeah. So we're probably all out on this one.
Yeah.
Yep, solid figure, just not for me.
All right, let's see which one is here. I don't know. It's just random. Oh, we did that one already. Okay. Let's see which one's here. Oh, we did that one already.
Oh, we did that one already.
I lost that stuff. Okay, let's go back to Hot Toys. All right, Bond or Shin? What do you guys want to talk about? Let's do Bond.
Do Bond.
Do Bond.
Do Bond. Okay, No Time to Die. James Bond 007. They teased this a little bit ago, a month maybe ago or something like that. And they're giving us Daniel Craig's Bond from No Time to Die. I know you guys are bigger Bond fans than myself. Really have only seen just a couple movies. So Lord of the Rings, casual fan. Bond, can't even say I'm a casual fan. So I'm going to leave this up to you guys a little bit more, but I do want to kind of steer the conversation. And what I want to ask first is, we'll talk about the likeness. What I want to ask first is, are you okay with where Hot Toys started with the Bond? Because they just teased that they were doing James Bond. They didn't say which one they were doing. Could have been Pierce Brosnan, could have been Sean Connery. They're going with the most recent one, Daniel Craig here. But are you okay with where they're starting with Bond? And then what do we all think about how he looks? DLO, I'll start with you.
Okay. To answer and unpack that whole question you gave us over here, I'm going to start with the simple no. I don't like where we started. Don't like it. Now,
Where would you have wanted us to start?
well, I'm going to clarify that. Now, I I think the right call was to start with Daniel Craig's Bond because that's the most familiar to most collectors right now, you know. And more specifically, I just think that where they went wrong is where they started, which IP they went with, which is the last movie. So this kind of reminds me of our conversation we had about Indy, right? When it comes to that, this is the last version of Daniel Craig's Bond, and to be honest with you, like, I think it's a bad call. I think you start off with number one. If you're going to go that route, start off with the most popular iteration of Daniel Craig, which would be, most people will tell you, Casino Royale or Skyfall. I think those two would be much better choices. And what I see here is what I don't like is I don't like that you're forcing me to get this one to eventually make the one I really want. Like, I'm seeing that trend more.
Yeah.
With Hot Toys. Like, I feel like you're trying to get me to get the one that I most likely will not buy. And then eventually you'll sneak up and get me the one I really want, because the hopes is you'll be excited to get this figure. And then when the dust clears, you make another one that I really want. And then I'll get both. So, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's just like, I don't want to play that game. Like, I really don't want to play that game. I want the best one that you can give me, which for me would be Skyfall or Casino Royale. And then if I like it, if you do a good enough job, maybe I'll go pick up this one down the road when you make this one later on. But to lead with this one over here, this is not my favorite version of Daniel Craig, right? And a lot of people would probably say that Daniel Craig was, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong here, but I think he was 38 years old when he started Casino Royale. And by the time he gets to No Time to Die, he's already 51. Okay, so he's had over a decade in the role at that point there, right? So he's aged out of Bond at this. This is his last movie here. So if what made him as popular as a Bond he is here, why not go to a better movie? Why not give us one that's more iconic? Why give us the one that, like, yeah, it's Daniel Craig. It looks like him, but you notice the reception from the community. Like, people were immediately pointing out how he doesn't necessarily look like Daniel Craig. And I'm going to put that to rest. He does look like Daniel Craig, but he's not the Daniel Craig you remember. He is 51 years old here, and he looks like a older Daniel Craig. So yeah. He looks like he looks in the movie. He has an older looking face, and he is older at this point. But yeah, there's so much wrong with this figure over here. Like, as far as accuracy, I don't like the tailoring. That's probably my biggest gripe. The stitching is absurdly large, and it looks like doll clothes. It's really, really bad. And obviously the proportions of the body. Daniel Craig was probably the most in shape James Bond we ever had, and he looks like he has a fat head, like a bobblehead on a tiny little body, and it's just throwing me off tremendously over here. So, so you compound some of this stuff. Like, number one, I don't want this version. I want Casino Royale. I want Skyfall.
Finally tailored. Finally.
But that's the thing, though, too. Like, honestly, I don't like a lot of this figure.
Wait for Toppo. Wait for Toppo.
The white collar shirt has that hexagon patterning on it, kind of like John Wick. That's not a James Bond tux. Okay, it's a silky smooth white collar shirt. Yep. It's like that in every single movie. That is not gonna
like this.
What?
I put my money on it. They're gonna reuse this head sculpt for Skyfall.
Yeah, that would be a crime. That would be a crime because he absolutely does not look the same at all. So I mean, if that's the case, that's not happening for me. I'd be out in a heartbeat. But you might be onto something, Nick. But that's the thing here. I'm really torn because I have been dying for James Bond figures for years. Big time James Bond fan. So I would love to have a Connery. I would love to have Pierce Brosnan. I'd love to have Daniel Craig. But yeah, it's just like, it's about, and that's just to get to the suit. Like, let's talk about the other stuff over here. Okay, so his watch. His big watch that he always has and at least for Daniel Craig specifically, he has an Omega watch. Okay, this Omega watch that he has on is not the correct one. Now, I know you can't use Omega's license, but you can make it look like it is without having the word. You can't without it there. So that's way off, right? And then also, it's so bare bones as well. You got a couple hands, you have an AK-74U, and you have a PPK, and then you have another 9mm. I think it's a SIG. I don't know which one it is that he has, but that you have a second handgun. Like, he should have a silencer.
Yeah.
Double O is synonymous with a PPK with a silencer. Now, I don't think he used it in this movie here, in fairness, so this might be accurate. But again, you need to come out with a bang. This is the first time you're going to have the James Bond license, and you come out with a dud like this. Like, you should have this should have got the DX treatment, in my opinion. You should have had the tuxedo, which is obviously iconic, right? But you should have also gotten his second attire. Like, me personally, I would have went with Skyfall would have been my first call. I would have liked to have him in the tux. He has a white blazer in that one instead of a black one. And he also has a nice 3-piece suit as well, too. So he has his civilian look, which is not really civilian. It's another, what's the name of the suit maker? Ford something. I can't think of the guy's name, but Tom Ford. Tom Ford makes all the suits. A nice 3-piece Tom Ford suit, and they also have the tuxedo as well, too. Give us the banger. Give us the banger on that one here. So, I mean, yeah, that's how I feel like this year, because it's just like, man, like I'm so excited that we're getting Bond. I'm such a huge fan, but like, this is like, I'm going to have to upgrade everything. I'm going to have to upgrade the body. I'm going to have to get a third-party suit. Everything we just talked about, Toppo is going to probably make something. Like, I'm really spending $260 to get a head sculpt and a couple of hands. Like, I'm going to have to fix this thing. And that is so far out of line that there's no way I'm going to put that much money into it there. But, yeah, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm out on this one. Unless there's a drastic change to this figure here, like, I don't want this, because this is my Bond, and either you get it right or I'm not buying this. I don't care, because I would rather spend extra money and make a custom, like V Collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of beautiful head sculpts out there that are made. I can easily put one together and it'll be far better than this one. So yeah, they need to come correct with Bond. Bond is been around for over 50 plus years. Like, you don't screw up Bond. Like, the way you guys are passionate about like all these other IPs that you put all the effort in, you do the same with Bond. Like, no question about it. Because if you do it right, then Connery comes, more comes.
Especially worldwide. Bond is worldwide.
There's so many people who love Bond and have a specific passion for a certain Bond. Like, you're sending the wrong message to every Bond fan here. If you're going to mess up Craig, what's going to happen when you get to Connery? What's going to happen when you get to Moore? What's going to happen when you get to Dalton and Brosnan? You're setting the wrong example for everybody else here. Like, if I'm not a Daniel Craig fan and I'm looking at this here now, and I know that at some point they're going to make my Bond, I'm going to think they're going to screw it up, because as a Bond fan, I'm going to look at this like, this is not the best Daniel Craig you could have made. It could have been a lot better. But yeah,
I think you kind of summed up too what we've been kind of talking about the whole show, is just like, yeah, we'll do the figure, but we're not really gonna we're almost doing it out of obligation as opposed to anything else, where we're not gonna just fine tune it and give you the appropriate figure. We talked about that with previous figures, the Predator tonight, and it just kind of seems like that. I know Brick's gonna get in here too, but I gotta say, like, I'm kind of feeling like Brick last week with Thunderbolt's Yelena. Like, I feel like in some images he looks really good, and then some he looks like kind of out of whack. Brick, do you see that, or am I?
Yeah, there's a couple images where he does look a little out of whack. But I agree with D-Lo. I think there's just some images that it looks really soft, but like that one right there, yeah. But I literally every single thing, D-Lo, that you said, like, I agree with. Like, I agree that Daniel Craig's a good starting point, but not the right movie. I agree with the tailoring. Like, I started laughing when you started talking about the stitching, because I was thinking that exact time when you said it.
You can't unsee it. It's terrible.
So yeah, I agree with D-Lo 110% with everything he said. There's no reason to repeat that.
No, what scares me though, and I have no skin in the game, but what scares me is what Nick said too, where he's like, they're gonna use the same fucking head sculpt when they do the other movies too, and
that'd be dead wrong. That'd be dead wrong.
If that happens. I don't know, man. So I know the poll's still going, but it sounds like a majority of people are not picking this up.
And I plan on passing on this too, unless they get some severe upgrades.
This kind of reminds me of Modern Suit Batman, just kind of like not the same material, but just gaudy. Like it just kind of looks gaudy.
Yeah, and then depending on how this figure does, do they like if it sells poorly? Do they even go to Sean Connery? There's
no guarantees.
But at the same time, like if you want it to be a success and you pay for the license, like why are you doing it like this? Why are you doing this version? Why are you doing the tailor? Why are you half-assing it? You spend the money for that license. Like, come on, Hot Toys.
I do think the head sculpt looks pretty good. I know people on Facebook were like comparing him to like Putin and stuff like that. I don't see that.
That was a silly comparison. It was a joke.
Yeah.
It was funny, but he doesn't look like Putin. Come on.
No.
Putin wishes he looked like Bond. Come on.
I will say, like, overall, there's some, like you said, Brick, there's some that look like soft or just kind of like a weird glow to it. And that's probably just photography or Photoshop. But then there's these, like, I gotta say, like, I am pretty impressed with the head sculpt. But again, I'm afraid of what Nick says, so that they'll just reuse this over and over again.
Well, and D'Lo's right too. Like the head, it's a good sculpt, but like, why is it so big compared to the body?
I think he looks okay when the tux is on, but like, I don't think this.
But when you take the tux off, like the jacket off,
there's a lot of size.
Yeah.
You got to look at JC Hong's Instagram photos. Like they're better because these lights are definitely throwing it off over there. So, yep, good eye. Thank you, Graham. You're always on top of things like that. That's like you.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, but it looks much better. It does. Like, I mean,
it looks really good.
Because I think the lighting, I think they definitely tried to brighten it and kind of tack up the tint and saturation on their iPhones when they're editing this here, obviously. And just it took a lot of the detail out, but this is a lot better. But also, you can also see here now, this is the appropriate age. This is an aged up Daniel Craig head sculpt. He does not look like this in any of the other movies other than this one here. Because I think this was the longest gap between movies too. Because I think this one came out 2020, 2021, something like that. So I think the gap between Spectre to this one was more than any. So it took a minute to get this one off the ground. But yeah, it's it's Indy. It's the conversation with Indy all over again. Do I get the old Indy or do I get the Indy that I like the most? Which, like I said, his two best movies were Casino Royale and Skyfall. I would much rather have either one of those over this. In my opinion.
Again, I almost know nothing. But I will say, like, this seems a lot closer though than the Indies. Like, one is young, one is extremely old. Like, to me, I think this could still be a decent stand-in as just like a James Bond figure. If for some reason Hot Toys only does this, I think you could be happy with this. I think we always talk about the head sculpts like the soul of the figure, right? And I think they've gotten that right, at least from the proto. And I do think the other stuff is a little bit more minor, where I think they could fix it, through the process. So I'm not as worried. But like, if this just looked really bad, I'd be like, I don't know. But like, I also think the age gap isn't quite as wide. So like, but again, I'm the guy that doesn't really even see the movies, so I don't really know.
It would also be a disappointment if this was the only Bond that we got.
Sure.
Like this. Okay, so you guys gave us Bond after such a long, like, hopeful wait, and this is the one that we got. Only this one.
Hammer of God raining on our parade.
Well, this is where they shoot themselves in the foot. That's the very reason why I'm so so frustrated with this over here, because you only have one chance to make a first impression. I mean, I know for myself for years, I've been waiting for Hot Toys to get the license. I forget the name of the company. I think it was Black Toys or something. I forget who had it originally. Some weird random company I'd never heard of before. But they had the license for years. And I was like, man, if only Hot Toys had it, I can get a good Bond. But, you have a chance to do it. And then it must be a pricing. It must be a license. Maybe they don't have the license to all movies. Maybe that's what it was.
True.
But damn it, if I was Hot Toys, I'd fight hard for one of those two, Skyfall or that, because this movie didn't do that well. And honestly, this movie kind of went and kind of came out and kind of went away. No one talked about it There was nothing, exceptional about the last movie. It was decent, but it wasn't like anything grand. So if you're going to come out with your very first ever officially licensed James Bond figure, I mean, why half-ass it? Why pick something that's going to be divisive automatically just by your choice of which movie you picked? Why go there? Like, play it safe. Get the time, pay the extra money for the license if that was the issue. Get the right movie, because at the end it'll pay off for you here, because more people will more be willing to support the new IP rather than let it fail. Like, it sometimes, like the Joker, for example, they didn't do part one. Part one was arguably or synonymously the unequivocal number one movie out of the franchise, right? Number two, not so much. They went back and they got number two license. And they did that because the first license apparently was too expensive for them, allegedly. And then they got a deal on the second one, then they made it. Now you got a whole bunch of these Jokers out here, and no one cares about this Joker anymore because they don't like the second movie. And that's an important thing with toy making as well too. If you're going to make a representation of a beloved character, it's not just the character, it's the movie that's associated with the character. That means a lot to the collector as well too. So if you're going to pick something, pick the best version you can, make the best toy you can make there. And I guarantee you collectors will buy it and they will come back and buy more. But if you come back with some lazy shit like this over here, and you're already taking hit after hit after hit with every figure that you announce and release, you're shooting yourself in the foot. What's the saying here? Like death by 1,000 like cuts or something like that? Something along those lines. That's what Hot Toys is doing to themselves. Yeah. They're basically in control of their destiny because they have a rabid fan base that is willing to buy 99.9% of your stuff. You take that for granted long enough, eventually something you think that's going to be a hit, it's going to be a dud. And this is my first dud.
I gotta say something though too, because we don't really know how the licenses work. And with the 40th birthday coming up, I was trying to rent our old downtown historic theater to like have a party. They have a bar, and then you can watch a movie, right? And the base price to rent it is $550. And they said, "Well, what movie do you want to watch?" I was like, "Well, I was thinking like Return of the Jedi, something kind of like family friendly. A lot of people might like." Like, well, Star Wars is a really tough one. That license to pay for it to watch it would be like $900 roughly. I'm like, oh shit, just to watch the movie. And they're like, and I was like, well, my second option was 1989 Batman. And they're like, that's a lot easier to do. That one's like maybe $1 to $150. So like, I don't know how it all works, but all these different movies have different licenses, not only within different like Warner Brothers or George Lucas films or Disney or whatever the case may be, but I think within the movie itself too, like every movie is just different for what the license is going for. And I don't know what factors into that, but maybe something like that has to do with why they're doing this movie first, or maybe because it is the most relevant. Like, I don't know if most relevant or most recent is usually cheaper, because yeah, you're doing Indiana Jones, you're doing, you know, some of these other stuff that they're doing that's just because it's recent. I don't know if it's because they think people are just into that now. I don't know. But on a side note, I do agree with you as I'm looking at this closer that it is seem a little bit more bare bones. Like, we didn't put the full effort in to giving the Bond fans a figure they want. Like, figure stands with 2 interchangeable graphic cards, like the cheap ass cardboard backdrops that you're going to get to. I like the idea, the concept with the James Bond backdrop there, but again, it's just like kind of like half-assing everything, and we're going to give it to you just because it's something we feel obligated to do, but we're not really going to go all out. So I get that. I think the figure overall looks pretty decent, but I do take into consideration what DLO said about the suit and then the head size, the proportions and stuff like that. But yeah, just throwing that out there because I kind of learned a little bit more about licenses too and how they work. It doesn't really give me more clarity, but it just lets me know like kind of everything's on the table with what prices could be and whatnot. So Brick, any final thoughts on this guy?
Not really, other than hopefully we get some more James Bond. You know, I grew up in the 90s loving GoldenEye.
Yeah. Is that, I was just going to ask, what would be the Bond that you would want? Like
if I could have only
Bond.
one Bond, it would be Sean Connery.
Yep.
From like
For each
Dr.
other.
No or Goldfinger or something like that. But part of me really just a GoldenEye would be cool with Pierce Brosnan as well. And mainly because of that N64 game, which is what originally got me in to watching James Bond to begin with. So yeah, I would say either Goldfinger or GoldenEye.
Ryan says Austin Powers was better, the legend. How about you, D-Lo? Connery?
Yeah, I'm a Connery guy.
Gotcha.
I'm a Connery guy. But I mean, I like them all. I like them all for different reasons. They're all different Bonds and their own takes there. But yeah, like everybody emulates Connery. Like he's the blueprint for what Bond is here. But you know, I like more. I like more too. I even like Dalton as well too. Dalton has only 2 movies, and his is more like 80s action hero, serious kind of Bond. Which you know, I thought it was for the time it was pretty decent. But yeah, I think Craig is fantastic. I'd probably rank it. Probably for me, if you ask me, Connery, Craig is up there, followed by Moore, Brosnan, and then Dalton last. Oh, the official Bonds there. I know there's 2 more, but yes.
I'm going to end this poll. Are you getting the James Bond figure? We had 37 votes. 75% said no. I know a lot of people were excited, and maybe they're just not in this chat, but I'm going to be honest. I thought for sure there'd be more of like a warm reception for this. Like, it's Bond, I'm getting it. I know OG fan is like, you know, Bond fan not getting it. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting one to kind of track and see how well it does. And you know, I think that's going to say a lot about if Hot Toys continues to do this line, because they can always cut it off after one and say, well, yeah, we gave you a Bond collection. One
kind of sucks because not only might it affect this line, but it might affect doing other standalone stuff too. You know,
right?
If this doesn't,
that's
do
the thing.
well.
Like, you feel guilty as a fan because if you don't support it, you're saying to yourself,
with your wallet,
did I just screw myself out of future Bonds that I do want?
Yeah.
And you know, honestly, at this point, like I'm going to call your bluff, Hot Toys. Like, I don't think if I buy or not, you're going to spend all that money on a license and do only one figure. How about that?
How about that?
So I'll call you bluff.
Catch me outside. How about that?
No, seriously, I'm ready and prepared to call a bluff because I don't know how much the license costs, but I know you got to make money to keep them. So if this one doesn't succeed, I doubt we won't get another Bond. Maybe this might be the only Daniel Craig we get for a while, but I'm cool with that. I'll take a Moore. I'll take a Connery. I'll take somebody else. But I bet if I don't buy this figure and a bunch of people don't, I bet you the next Bond is going to be 10 times better than this one is.
This seems like more of a lineup like Sideshow should tackle.
No,
like
don't say that, bro.
Well,
Don't
you
say
know what
that
I
to
mean,
me.
though. Like giving you the Bond collection, you know, like they did the Clint Eastwoods and stuff like that, and almost seems like maybe they wouldn't look as good, but maybe they would put more like work into it and more care about what they gave you. I don't know, just kind of. I just has that feeling for me, like
You're going off like you just jumped a shark, bro. You just said, like, I mean, Brick, help me out here, buddy.
Yeah,
Graham just said maybe Sideshow should tackle this here.
Well, I'm not saying they would
with
do
all
it better.
those
I'm
concerns.
saying they would give you all of the Bonds. I'm saying they'd give you a full lineup.
Shitty body, worst
Come
tail
on.
lining.
When's the last time you got a Sideshow?
I can tell you're not a Bond fan by saying that,
He
Graham.
just doesn't get it.
It just doesn't.
This should be
Doesn't get
Sideshow.
it, man. The hell.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Let's move
I
on.
wrote a note today. Graham said a funny joke today.
I got a joke for you, if you guys want to hear it.
I thought you were gonna show that Wanda tutorial. That's a funny one. Have you watched that?
Oh my gosh, what a joke!
Have you seen it,
When?
Graham?
Yes.
What have I seen? What?
The Wanda video. You skip right. Go down real quick. There's a tutorial on how to style your.
Oh, that,
Wanda.
don't they just pull it and it stays
like,
the same?
And then they twist it.
Don't get me started on this Wanda. Don't get me started. I am
I love
still pissy about this. And
So 2 twists like
Mhm.
that Okay,
Perfect.
and then I'll go to the
It
other
looks
side.
great.
Wonderful.
Doesn't this remind you of like the in-art videos, right? But this is like zero effort whatsoever. Like, do this, you're done. Thank you. Buy hot toy.
Oh, that gave me a good chuckle. All right. Valkyrie wants to hear it. So, all right, ready? When does a joke become a dad joke?
When does a joke become a dad joke?
When it becomes apparent.
Oh my gosh.
That is a dad joke. I mean, that was as advertised. It sucked, but I mean, that's in his defense, that is a dad joke. So, but yeah,
There you go.
I guess I can laugh on the inside.
You can. Hot Toys was straight up trolling with that.
Right. That video was funny. I was just like,
Thank you, OG fan, not only for the $2, but thank you for having my back. That Sideshow Clint Eastwood collection is legit. I really wanted William Money. Man, those figures went waitlist quick, but I've heard good things. A little bit like there's like a 10% animated factor to them, but overall, I think the likeness is really good. So I've heard good things, and you don't really see those in too many people's collections. Like if you want to collect something that other people don't have, like those Clint Eastwood figures look cool. OG fan, do you have any of them in your collection? I'd like to know. Let me know in the chat. And thank you so much for the super.
Thank you guys. Thank you so very much. Thank you for having me. This is so cool. And I'm sweating my ass off for no reason. But this is like a dream for me. So thank you guys for having me on the show. And thank you for listening to me.
I just like it because it's like, thank you.
no F-bomb. I was waiting for the
No
F-bomb.
F-bomb. That's
Say it
right.
in front of the kids. Say it in front of the kids there.
Man.
Coward.
Let's see. Wow, I have all the Clint Cowboys. The STD Dirty Harry. That's cool. Yeah, I want
Standard,
William
right?
Money.
We
I
mean
want
standard
money.
by that, right? That's not STD Dirty Harry. Standard Dirty Harry.
STDs. He's got the sickness.
Okay. Just read that wrong, and my brain stopped working for a second, so I needed some help. That's on me. That's on me, not on you, OG.
Valkyrie wants to collect all the Dirty Harry figures. Dirty Harry is really dirty. STDs.
I started.
Very nice. Whenever you need him, he's there for you. All right. Let's go to the figure that Brick promised us he would buy and then changed his mind.
Damn.
At least I keep my
He
figures,
called
sir.
you out, bro.
At least I keep my
that.
collection. I don't sell half my
You
collection.
You
flipped that.
fake collector, Brick.
Should have
Dang.
flipped it.
Hey,
Oh yeah, for sure I'm getting this
Dang.
one. And you gotta get
hold on. I've
You gotta get
explained
all
this
of them.
throughout the last year and a half since this figure was announced. When Ahsoka was announced, okay, we didn't have all these different Artisan figures that were announced. We didn't have Deadpool and Wolverine. There were a
shit.
lot of figures that have
Oh.
been announced since then.
Hold that thought. Hold on
That
to your
thought,
knuckles.
Ricky.
How come it's always when I'm talking?
Because you're a lucky
There's-
charm.
You're
I'm
one.
the lucky charm.
Oh,
Yeah.
always after me, Lucky Charms.
What is
So,
it?
Brick,
What
you're gonna
is
be
it?
happy, bro.
What is it?
Oh,
Wolverine, baby, I love it. Beginning of the show.
Oh, boy.
Beginning of the
Artisan,
show.
I'm out.
I knew this was gonna happen. Wait, is it? Oh my gosh, it is, isn't
It
it?
is Artisan, I'm out.
Oh, shit.
Holy
Wow. Dude.
Age of Apocalypse.
Dude.
Wolverine.
I would do anything for love. That's what he kind of looks like.
Damn.
Not gonna lie.
Dude, how bad is this hair gonna look?
Ooh, dude, come on. Be positive here. I'll put a tutorial video out. You just do
I'll show you
this,
how to-
and you do this, and you're done. Hot
Kind of
tub.
like Meet the Parents. You just, you know.
And I literally just said, there's been so much since Ahsoka, all the
Dude,
Deadpool Wolverine
Jackman
stuff,
looks jacked in this figure, though.
and then all of a sudden the Deadpool Wolverine was announced. Let's go.
Dude.
Well, Shin might have to be shelved. Really quick. Just give me some thoughts on this.
We'll go back to it. Let's just focus on Wolverine. We'll get over, and then we'll go back
No,
to
we
Shin.
were on this. Let's focus on this. I just want to spend a minute.
I want to talk about the Jackman.
Fine.
Shin looks really good. I got distracted by Jackman. All right.
All right.
You dodged the bullet because he was about to roast you.
Me?
Graham was about to roast you. He's like, "How dare you?"
Everybody
not
changes
collect?
their mind. I can name probably 5 figures that Graham's changed his mind on.
Well, you're
such
not
as-
wrong. Probably
such as
probably another
Wolverine.
5.
Such as the
You were
yellow
just
Wolverine.
passionate about this. I know how you love the female figures.
I do. I'm a horn dog. I get it.
Mm,
I am getting that soap Friday morning at 11 a.m., boys. Let's go.
You're really gonna get that?
I'm going to go for it, yeah.
Wait, what's he getting?
He's gonna get the Sydney
It's
Sweeney soap.
limited to 5,000. It's $8. Why not?
Oh,
Why not
I
try it?
saw an ad for that on Facebook that said "You dirty boys." I was like, "Oh boy."
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
why not try for it? Like, honey, can you get the pass the soap for me real
I
quick?
did the soap. Okay, would you use the soap or would you just keep it like a collector?
I would use the soap.
Dude, if you buy that soap, that's a gateway to baby number 4. You realize that, right? You're gonna be like, I feel like a new man after this. Jeez.
I'd smell it every morning just to get me going.
Let's go. Holy
This is
cow,
pretty
though.
sweet, guys. This is a cool looking figure.
Dude. Like,
I bet you X-Man Supreme is like, and Mike Litteris, like all those Wolverine fans.
oh, this is insane. We were talking shit about James Bond a second ago, and they come back and totally redeem himself.
Yeah,
Well,
is that a
maybe.
good-
I don't know. That
is that
face is
his
looking
hairline?
low. Yeah, it's his hairline. That's about right.
It's very sharp.
It's a weird angle for the face. I don't know.
Dude, look at those arms.
He looks tired.
He's been fighting a lot.
He's got a lot going on in those eyes.
Dude,
This is really just making me think I really need that original Deadpool versus Wolverine.
that's what I was saying. You said you were going to get it.
You
Yeah,
It's
absolutely
not
should
gonna
have it.
happen.
Huh?
Yeah.
At least not for a while.
Yeah.
It'll be like Modern Suit Batman.
Sure.
Hawk will have him for a while, and then I'll be like, well, I'm
Or
bored.
like, I need them. Yeah. Yep. I'm the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, this completely slipped by me as a potential candidate for an Artisan. Like, I really, maybe because I was so focused on the brown suit and hoping they would make that one. But damn, this is
Let me go
cool.
back here. So
I can't.
2,500 units.
I am shocked that they made this Artisan, but not Nice Pool.
Oh, screw Nice Pool, bro.
I'm just saying. Like you would think because of the long hair and everything, they would have done both as Artisan.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad that one is an Artisan because, yeah, my boy Wolvie deserves all the love. That looks so awesome. I just can't get over how good they got the muscles. Like, that looks like Jackman, prime Jackman over here. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's. And the suit is so good. Oh, man. I love this figure.
The suit's pretty sweet.
You guys are surprising.
Dude,
me a
they
little
even
bit.
made the facial hair Artisan. You know how usually they like do the facial hair is like plastic and then the rest of the hair is wool. Like the facial hair is actually wool.
It's made of wool.
It's
So,
made of
hold
wool.
on. So X-Men said the BVS Batman. It looks like I think you're right. It looks like they used it for the photo,
But then
but it's
Toppo
not
says-
included.
damn Daredevil base.
Yeah, they gave him the Daredevil base. The little half off there.
Mutton chops.
This looks great,
Ain't got
guys.
nothing on this mutton.
They need to give him die-cast claws, though. I hope these are
Dude,
die-cast claws.
If they ever give Wolverine plastic claws, it's gonna be an unforgivable sin.
They'll guarantee they'll break for sure.
Oh yeah.
But they don't say die cast, they just say interchangeable clawed hands and armors, seamless upper body and arms made of silicone. Obviously, it's probably that new stuff that they did. Was Peacemaker the one they did like the what's the term for it?
Is this like is it going to be, hold on, is it like fully, completely seamless, or is this like the seamless top like Bane is?
Oh yeah, Bane was the synthetics, whatever that was, like that new. stuff that they're using for prosthetics and stuff. Separate rolling eyeballs. There's no mention of diecast.
Going on a limb here, I feel like this is the same upper top body as Bane, because he looks bigger. Because I'm going back with the TVA jacket one compared to this one over here, and this is much bigger. This is way bigger.
This is a new seamless torso, Nick thinks.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this hair though is that it's okay if like Artisan, you open it up and it's all like messy, because it's kind of supposed to look like that. So as long as it's not like,
yeah, this will be easier.
That's a good point, Brick.
Yeah, this will be easier to style.
Yeah,
like you can't mess it up because it's supposed to be messed up. That's
it's
a good
supposed
point,
to be
Brick.
messed up.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, going back to Wanda, I don't like it that people said that they curled the hair for shipments, because there's been other hair that they've done that hasn't been curled, that is shipped just fine in the state that it's in. Like, you can't really say they had to curl it for shipping.
Right.
But have they done that long of hair though?
No,
because
probably
usually
not,
in the past, like it's all staticky and looks like what we've seen with the old Black Widows,
I don't think the length matters. I mean, you're either curling it or you're not.
I think it matters because it has more of a chance to spread out.
Maybe. $375 sideshow.
Damn.
Should retail at that.
Should. Okay.
What should?
This
for $375. This would make it less expensive.
He always knows
Black
the
Widow.
prices.
I know. I don't mean to question, because he's got a hell of a track record. I'll give him that there, but that would surprise me, because I mean that would be less expensive than Black Widow. I mean, I hope you're right. I'll take that there. That's
How pissed would you be if you don't get it? 2,500.
Not entirely, because my goated suit is the brown suit. The brown suit is my favorite. So
I think this will be around.
No, this is going to sell out. It's too good not to sell out. I'm not. So I mean,
It'll
if I don't get it,
out.
I don't get it.
But I don't think it's going to be sold out in 15 minutes.
Oh yes, it will. 1,000%. Watch. You underestimate the power of a Wolverine fan.
I do.
It's only 2,500 too.
Yeah. This is going to fly.
I mean, as long as there's no like complications, I think this goes in 15 minutes.
So why do you put so much effort into a 2,500 limited unit piece when you could have made 10,000 James Bonds, and you could have made hundreds of thousands of dollars? I don't understand your logic.
Right.
Sorry, I'm still on Bond. This is great though, guys. I love this piece.
I like the expression too.
This is the most like positive reaction I've had on a figure in a while. I just think this is just awesome. It's niche. It's niche for sure, but I can't say it. I can't think of a single thing that I don't like about this. I just hope it stays like this and it doesn't have curls when you guys get it later. Can you imagine can you imagine curls on the beard? That would be funny.
Just like coming down.
Like that would be hilarious there. But oh man.
Yeah, I'm safe from this one.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'll try to get it. If I can't get it, I'm not gonna lose any sleep.
Yeah.
It just makes me excited about the potential for my brown suit to actually finally happen. But it's a hell of a piece. Is X-Man getting this? Has he already said he's gonna get it?
He was in all caps lock saying stuff before.
So that's probably yes, because he's always saying things in cap locks. He's always yelling for some reason.
Yeah, here, look.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to deal with the queue. Do you think they shadow drop this?
No, not Artisans. At
like
least, I mean, they could. I mean, I'm not saying like for. I doubt it though.
2380 Hong Kong converted to USD is 303, slap 25%, 375 to 380.
Dude, to get a Artisan Wolverine less than a Black Widow you're just tempting everybody to go ape shit to get this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
That's awesome. It's beautiful. Brick, what about you, man? Are you in on this here, or is this
He's
something
getting
you're
it.
thinking?
I'm gonna be like you, man. I'll go for it. I won't be upset if I don't get it. I think it's badass that they're doing this. I do know that there are gonna be people out there that want this more than me. So if I get this, right, and somebody like X-Man does not, then you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
I'd
Look
rather-
out for somebody else.
But
here,
if
absolutely.
you already got it and I got it, that'd be cool with keeping it. You know what I mean? But it's not one of those that I'd be like stressing out about if I missed it. But it looks phenomenal. It looks really, really cool.
telling you, pre-ordering these artisans are going to be like currency at some point.
Yeah.
Like I'll trade you my artisan for this artisan.
Right?
Yeah.
Feels like that sometimes.
If you could use this
It
sculpt
does.
on another Wolverine figure, which would it be?
It's a very specific style. I mean, Age Apocalypse. I mean, you can't really put him like that. He doesn't look like this anywhere else but here. So
Give me the shirtless Wolverine from Deadpool Wolverine. Put this head
That'd be
sculpt on
funny.
there. Just like yeah.
oh, that's a good point. Weapon X. You can kit bash a Weapon X with this head.
Oh,
sculpt.
yeah, that'd be cool.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Hmm.
This can, so okay. So look, it looks like the metal gauntlet comes off, so you can put in the claws in, and then you have a seamless one as well too. That's a nice touch.
Cool.
Nick, are you sure this is not? It feels like the Bane body, the upper body. I don't know. I'm thinking. I don't know. I got to take a closer look at it here, but it feels like it's. He looks huge. He looks way bigger than what he did with the TVA jacket version. Rick, what do you think? Does he look the same to you? Or does it look bigger in this one?
I think it kind of looks like the Bane body, but again, I don't have
I could
it.
be wrong.
so-
I could be wrong, but yeah, he's jacked, and
The guy's
I'm here
jacked.
for it. Jackman is jacked. I'm here for it. Don't get me wrong. Either way, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
Doesn't say anything about die cast.
Poopy.
Leave it to Hot Toys. They do the artisan figure and they cheap out on stuff.
yeah, we can't be too good. Just good enough.
Can you imagine a sculpted version of this, like all that plastic on his on his face? Oh my gosh.
They need to change their name to Lukewarm Toys.
Right.
Nothing can be hot anymore. Nothing can be hot anymore.
All right. I'm going to close this poll. We're going to go to Shin and we're going to end the show here after that.
Great figure though.
How are you
Hell
going
yeah.
in the queue for this Wolverine figure? 20 votes, 50-50.
Well.
Straight down the middle. If they stealth drop, it'll most likely be at 1 p.m. Eastern. This was the time they dropped the troopers that were exclusive. So be on the lookout, guys. That's all you can do. Because some stuff they've just been having like the next morning, just up for sale and first come, first serve. Granted, more so like trooper stuff, but still.
Did you jump into the Obi-Wan queue for the last artisan drop?
Me?
Yeah, I know Brick did. Well, no.
No,
Yeah,
I
Brick,
didn't.
you did.
I did not. I was in a basement
Okay.
at work,
Well,
and
I would
was
say
not
I
able
don't
to-
think it's gonna be shadow drop because the queue system was so much more organized than it's ever been before. So it would be weird that they fixed the queue problems. And
That's a
then
good point.
stopped
It
doing
is
that there.
artisan, so yeah, they probably wouldn't sneak drop it, being that it's artisan.
Damn, that's badass though.
All right.
That's a flipping good figure, and
Yes.
one good figure to another.
Hey, Shin. She looks just as good as the proto to me. I don't really even see a drop off.
I'd argue
No,
she's
she looks
slightly
really
better.
good. These are like the first blogger photos that we've seen in a long time that actually look good. So yeah, it's tempting.
D-Lo, are you getting this one?
You ask me every week. We go through this every time. Every time we see even a Ahsoka figure, deal, you're gonna get it. Deal, you're gonna. Yes, bro, I'm gonna get
You're
it.
all in on that line, huh?
No troopers, heavy hitters only. She's a heavy hitter. She's coming home. Although I
Did you
will
get
say,
Balin yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
so yeah, I'm waiting for all the Ahsokas and the Heras of the world, and now her add-on list. I'm surprised. I thought she would be the last one. I'm very surprised that Anakin is last. I really am here. I thought we would have got him by now. So curious to see if they're changing something with him. or they just have too many Anakins in the kitchen. They want to slow down how many drops they're going to do Anakin at one time. I don't know, but she looks fantastic. I can't wait to put her next to Balin. I'm going to put something along this line, maybe a little bit more action oriented though. But yeah, I love their juxtaposition. She has a Padawan, rat tail, whatever you want to call it there, and she has like the similar armor to his, which I love the medieval look for the two of them there. This just looks great. This looks great here. I cannot complain. I think it's actually slightly better than the Proto was. So here's a great example of Hot Toys can make it better than what they first showed us too. So when they want to, they will give you a random Shinhati better than the Proto. But my boy James Bond is in Hot Toys purgatory.
Maybe he'll turn out better too.
I hope, man. I hope.
You can only hope.
That ain't it, bro. That ain't it. Although I think I saw someone say something about like if Jazzing makes Aston Martin. I'll tell you what, buddy. That might be my first Jazzing vehicle. That might be it. That might be the one that gets me to do it. Yeah, listen. I'm going to put you in my lap and I'm going to tell you a story how I'm going to get a Jazzing Aston Martin because I might do that for James Bond.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm out on this.
Shin's fantastic. She looks great. I'm going to wait on her, though. I don't feel like I don't have a sense of urgency where I'm going to lose out on her.
I don't know if you really have to with any of the Ahsoka figures, do you?
No, I mean, that's the thing about most of these releases here. Once they are released, people are like, oh shit, yeah, I'm onto it. But then you think about all the other things. You got an Artisan potentially in your queue in a couple of days. It makes you rethink what you're buying every single time you see a new photo.
All these Predators, Terminators.
The line is so big too, right? So people are going to pick and choose. Most people are going to get the Ahsoka and maybe Thrawn. Like Shin might be the one like me where I'm just like, I just need the core pieces because I do have that other stuff to collect. So, I think it's just more likely that the line is so big, people are going to pick and choose. So most of them are going to be around, if not all of them.
Honestly, I get it, but honestly, at the same time, for me, it's just like, what other Hot Toys Star Wars out there that really is better than this here as well? I mean, listen, before everybody jumps in here, like I know there's things like Echo 5s that's lingering around out there, but I mean, a lot of this stuff you already have. Most of you do. So just for me, like I'm excited because these are new characters added into my collection that were actually really damn good. And, we're going to see her again in season 2. And I think her role is only going to get expanded and get only better from here. So, yeah, I'm excited about her and the rest of the crew over there. I think it's going to be a nice add-on to anybody's Star Wars collection. I'm all in. So we'll see what's up.
All right. I got nothing else to add, Brick.
Me neither.
All right. Looks good. It's good to have. Unfortunately, Weapon X kind of stole her thunder a little bit tonight, but she did turn out better than the Proto, at least just as good, which is saying a lot. The figure looks awesome. So if you have this on pre-order and you're picking her up, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I've held fast and only got Thrawn from this line. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's Ahsoka, Thrawn, and Chopper so far with Hera coming in, and I think that's all I have locked down.
She gets the bean, dude. She's fantastic.
She really annoyed the hell out of me.
She's a Mandalorian, bro.
She was better in Rebels, and in this show, I just
she was better in Rebels for sure.
No question.
We'll see, maybe one day, but yeah, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. We're over the 2-hour mark. So thank you guys for sticking with us tonight. And just a reminder, we are going to be off next week, but the 40th birthday bash for Jedi is the week after on the 18th. So come hang out, celebrate hopefully a lot of news, but also my birthday with us. And I'm looking forward to having a good show then. I will still come out with a video this week. I think I'm going to show you guys what I moved around. I asked for your help last week. So I'm going to let you know what I came up with and stuff like that. And then I will still have a video that comes out next week as well. So you guys won't have to go 2 weeks without a video. It's just we won't have Wolfpack. So Thank these boys here for being with me and my wingmen every single week. Appreciate you guys. Brick, I'll start with you if you want to just plug your channel and let the people know what's going on.
Sure, thank you.
Brick Artemis.
Yeah, so first off, we got a Beagle 6 episode coming this weekend, Saturday, first Saturday of the month at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then we also just dropped a video for the first time in a month and a half. It's been way too long. It's been a while. It's been a busy month, but dropped a video. It's kind of a collection tour, but not quite the collection tour just yet because I have a lot of plans. But I'm answering questions, showing off, some cool stuff, and having fun with the bros, the community. So go take a look at that. And other than that, just hanging out with the Wolfpack, man. The best crew there is. Let's go.
Too sweet.
Too sweet, buddy. Too sweet. Boom. Boom.
And we got DLO the Collector.
Yep. Boys, episode, what are we up to? 103? 103? Yeah. Dude, great episode. We had our highs, we had our lows. We laughed, we cried, but we stayed the course. Too sweet. Yeah, so guys in chat, you guys have been fantastic. You, like usual, appreciate obviously all your feedback, and obviously you guys just interacting the whole way through. You guys are always fun to watch as well too. So shout out to you guys. As far as for me, my channel, I'm going to drop 2 videos because of the layover from episode to episode with us over here. So I'll drop my video for my comic book tour that I took over here, and also I'm going to be more interactive with some of my videos here. I want to give you guys like mini updates on my display now, because I get bored of things pretty quickly, and between videos of collection tours, I probably changed it 3 or 4, maybe 5 times throughout the year that you guys never see. So I'm just going to put out a random video and just kind of show you guys what I'm going to do with one of my cases, and kind of show you little by little how the cases are changing before the eventual full tour comes out, whenever that's going to happen. So I'm going to peek behind the curtain and let you guys see the works behind words. But yeah. Looking forward to putting some more content out there. Looking forward to taking a week off to re-energize for another great episode for the big 40th for our boy Graham.
We're going to have a lot of news next week too, and I'm just going to be like,
it's okay. It's okay. Folks are still going to want to know your opinion. They're going to want to know ours. It's all good, and we'll share them with you when the time's right. But yeah, Graham deserves a break. My man's consistent as hell here, taking care of us, the chat, everything, and putting out videos every single week. So give the man a break. He's gonna have a good time. He said he's already gonna put a video out for you. Like, can you
already done?
Show my boy something. He's going to put out a video on vacation. He prepped his vacation and he prepped his video for you guys. What a guy! What a guy! So yeah. So be on the lookout for my stuff. Be on the lookout for Brick stuff. Be on the lookout for Graham stuff. We'll see you guys, I guess, in 2 weeks. And keep an eye if you're not subbed to me, and you'll see when I post.
Awesome. Hey, thank you for the kind words there, DLO. Yeah, I mean, I love this community and just sharing the collection and the hobby with you guys. So it's all a good time, but it's been a really good time tonight too. Been fun with Brick and DLO, and obviously you guys in the chat. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And yeah, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Wolfpack, too sweet, guys.
Too sweet, boys.
Sweet, baby.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. And goodbye.
Choose to collect.